through. And this is such an exciting matchup. The form that KRU has been in, it's been fiery passion versus the cold iron, the discipline of Lev. And here we get started. Split is our first map here, the pistol round.
And it's an attempt from KRU to take things very slowly. Davies, though, turns the pace up as soon as Taco spots him.
Yeah, that's confidence. Rendezvous placed up. Get out of jail for free card, and now he helped out with the rest of his team. Stray shots being sent straight through the wall, hoping for an easy kill. Taco almost going down, has to back away for a heal.
Remember, Noswa was unbelievably good last time Leviatan played on this map. One of the big reasons why they were able to pull through. And they're going for a wraparound through mid. Nags has heard all of this. Yeah. I mean, Nags has heard them rotate off of A and through up to B male with his lurk position deep in mid. And KRU, we've seen them go for this kind of pathing before where they take A heaven control and then pressure into B.
Oh, and King could be in trouble. One snake bite to his name, has to back out. Just hopping around, and he does escape.
They didn't leave anybody posted up in A heaven. So while they go back here, they've got to be a little diligent, worried that Taco could be pushed forwards. They still haven't forced out Taco's dash. But the confidence from KRU in these kind of moments, they don't spend much time wondering. They just go.
The final 30 seconds. Hit's got to start coming through now towards the back of it. Shy, flash over the top. Does connect, but Klaus, what an answer back. Damage being done. Taco, he's low though. And it's running and gunning. That will finish him off. Two-player advantage. Spike will be going down. It's in a safe position, but the post plant isn't too ideal still. Massive player advantage, but everybody grouped up towards his side, and Noswa trying to take matters into his own hands. Risks were necessary, really, to try and turn the fate of this round, and it doesn't go his way.
A 2v5 that looks completely unwinnable here with Nags having his position up towards heaven. But Mazzino and King are going to do what they can.
Needs a freebie here with Melter being low enough snake bite. There's Kesner going down, but yeah, they all topple just like that. The player advantage being a little bit too much there. So KRU running away with that one. Pistol round under their belt. Great way to begin.
And I feel like a lot of people have in their heads that KRU are going on this run because the form of the players is absurd. And while that has truth to it, Kesnit has been on a monster run, and players like Klaus, Davies have turned things around enormously. But when I watch KRU move around the map, they are so different to how they played during that regular season.
Oh yeah.
They're so mobile. They're willing to pressure different areas and return back and cut timings, play with different tempos. Even in that pistol round, they're wondering if they could call an audible and rush through to B, or whether they should end A, and they're very fluid with it. A lot of credit got to be given to Melzer, who used to be a player on Leviatan and is now calling to try and take his team to champions over the top of his former roster.
What a storyline that would be. This one should just be slam dunk, round win. Spike going down, up to push it back. It's not planted for main, it is close to default, but at this point, Lev, the discipline they show, most likely just going to be going down to the spike, looking to see if they can get any exits, do that economical damage. But you say it's not all form when you talk about these teams, Josh, and they have had these good ideas, that nuance that we're seeing almost. You're saying that, playing very fluid. You think of the KRU in a regular season, very much brute force being the name of the game sometimes. A lot of 5 players grouping up.
Absolutely, very little nuance to it. And I think they needed a little bit of time with their new coach, Adam, to be able to come in and help them figure out the ways that they wanted to approach these maps.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk about how close they were at being able to secure wins during the regular season, but close really doesn't do anything. 0-9 this squad, and yet now poised as arguably very slim favorites in this final. But as the Des was talking about, I really do feel like this is anybody's game, up for grabs by either of these squads.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to see our first clash of the rifles in this round, where it is KRU's bonus, but they've got 2 Phantoms, 2 Vandals, and a Bulldog coming in here. So, essentially just our first gun round.
Yeah, the money is flourishing. From the prior round, setting themselves up here. Focus being laid down towards mid. Taco. Yes, up. Slight off angle. Misses the shot, though. Has to activate the dash. Takes another attempt of it. Get out of there.
And as to what Sean was talking about on the desk earlier, notice how the flash from Shy does connect onto Melzer. And so Leviatan don't know how many players are outside A, even though it's Melzer controlling A, Nags controlling B, and that triple pack with Davies and Kesnit taking the brunt of the map control. This system has really worked well for them all throughout LCQ.
Dog, oh, leading the charge. Davies, you're in the jump spot. Pings it out for his team. Mid-control taken as well.
Melza deliberately getting flashed again. And now he moves away from A main. This looks like it's going to end in a B split, but remember, Shy just got confirmation that there were people outside A main. So he's got to stay towards A. And now Lev have 3 players over there.
And here it is, a face by King looking for information, but he will fall stacked up against him. 1 player left standing, Mazzino. But that's a read, isn't it? Nags it. Claiming that kill. Mazzino at the off angle, they needed to get value there, playing around the smokes, but another 2-player disadvantage for Lev.
Spike planted.
And again, forced to make the difficult task, difficult decision. Maybe not for them, but to save. We know they're prone to it.
They definitely are. Yeah, I mean, even the audience knows what's going on at this point, right? Leviatan with another one of their save rounds.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of talk about this. It's one of the ways in which Leviatan demonstrate their discipline. They want to keep rifles up at all times, make sure that they have a decent buy heading into the next. But they're not one of the teams that tends to convert at a high rate on eco rounds, even when they have, you know, a few rifles in there. And Kesnit's found one of them. So now only 2 Vandals looking to be brought into the next. And while all of this is going on, Crew's economy grows bigger and bigger. These players are all going to get the 3K, they've got the plant bonus, any kill bonuses as well added on the end. The economy already looking like it's going to be flourishing.
Yeah.
And we're only into round 4.
Bank is booming. They're giving out loans at this rate.
And it puts so much stress on Leviatan on their defense side.
We talk about form with these teams. It is an important talking point as well on the other side of things. Lev have come into their own with a lot of their individual players. Haven't seen too much evidence of that so far with this series, but players like Paco finding newfound confidence that wasn't there in the regular season.
And I think that's an important point. We haven't seen it yet, and I think they probably need those players to get online early in the series to get that confidence going and feeling like they're warm once they get into later maps. And this is a winnable map for either team straight off the bat. This isn't one that's supposed to be one-sided one way or another. Lev or Crew both have their chances to win on split, although obviously Crew in the driver's seat at the moment.
I like this decision making. It's deep B main control. Giving over to Mazzino. As long as he holds that space, he's going to be granting them a lot of information. Lev can push players into other directions as well. Shore up the defenses towards mid, towards A. We know that space is locked up. Trailblazer needs to be dealt with. It is. Nobody was following up behind it.
There's a bit of danger in B main though here. We've got a judge on Mazzino, and usually Melza is going to try and take that space on his own. Remember? 1-3-1. That's the idea for Crew.
There.
So if Mazzino just holds his ground, there is a big chance that Melza is dropped with the spike.
Recall smoke. That's King, relieving that pressure as well. Right from behind, a bit of a backstab attempt. Mazzino's still there. The judge does not do the work, doesn't take out the opposition.
What an incredibly important fight. That could have been the whole round for Crew.
Taking B main control, but still, it looks like Crew want nothing to do with it. Again, that fluidity on display. They force the rotations out all the way through spawn. There's only 1 player really anchoring, and they can hear the footsteps. Davies, does he win this fight out? King! How's he managing that? Traded, though. Isn't it behind him? Took him out. Not even sure if that was intended. Shy onto the corner. Has to try and get one. Time running so damn short, but he falls. Could have been everything if he stopped it, but the spike doesn't look like there's a chance that it's going to be denied. Melza's there. Getting the plant off. Extension towards it. Satchel forward. Nozwa to 1v2, and he's brought down anyway. It's a 3-piece for Davies. 4 rounds of their own out for Crew. They're feeling it.
And so many things going their way. Even despite the best efforts of King, challenging them over in B heaven and then in A heaven as well, being mobile himself around the map. It was this kill, I think, that really changed the tide of things. Melza's the IGL. Once he gets that, he gets a read in his head of where the layout is of those defensive players and reads this immaculately. Plus the fact that he's in good form himself to be able to grab that kill against a player with a judge is no easy feat. So this has now hurt the Leviatan economy. They were able to buy in the prior with only 1 player having a judge, but now down to Stingers.
Yeah, dampener on the economy. Stingers and the Sheriff. We've seen miraculous stuff occur with those guns in the past, but Lev are going to need it because this is a half that is steadily getting away from them. Wall dropping. Jiggle onto the corner, spam onto it as well. That was Shy just spotted out.
And now Crew ball up with 4 players, trying to avoid getting caught out by any individual on the anti-eco round. And they just leave the rest of the map to Davies with his trip. The trademark broken, he has to worry about B main, but again, it's the rest of Crew just all together. trying to feel out for whether or not there's a stack on A.
That's a goal. Taking a time with it, though. Getting down to the 50-second mark. Don't actually have control of middle B main. Still making this rotation through.
They're going to be heading into Taco, who only has a Sheriff in hand. Just going to be asked to do so much.
Well, what can he achieve?
Little fakes with the snake bite. Nice lineups from Nags. He's going to make it feel like it's ending A.
He's in the off angle, misses the shot though. Doesn't land. Showstopper now. Forwards. Taco!
What is
He's
that?
removed him. He's out. He's repositioned. A fox in the pen, straight into the smoke. Mazzino is ripping and tearing right through them with the Sheriffs. They swarmed him.
Thrifty.
And my goodness, just like that. You needed a miracle. You needed something to offset that round advantage. There's one on the board.
Taco delivers with his first 2 kills of the match. How does he get this one? I mean, there's no way he even knows that Kesnit's there.
Yeah,
surely
like pure chance
just
almost.
pre-aiming at head height, hoping that he catches Kesnit on the floor instead of blast packing any higher up. Unbelievable. That is what Lev needed. Taco now has the money to get an op online. The reverse Uno card in terms of the economy.
Yeah, it's twists and turns, isn't it? You can flip just like that. There's an operator on the other side of things as well. It's Davies' attack operator. He's been set up onto that A ramp angle. Might be a brawl waiting to happen here. Viper wall going to be fading soon. That's King holding close to the corner anyway.
And if anyone tries to punish Davies here by wide swinging, Kesnit's ready. He can also do stuff like try and break this Trailblazer.
3 players spotted.
Blinded.
Bomb buddy out.
I think Lev are doing a great job here at just challenging crew as they try and fight for map control.
Yeah.
Nobody's really exposed themselves to Davies' sightline, and yet they're still holding them back from being able to take A heaven.
Now, Flash is going to be keeping a lot of the Lev players, again, tethered. That's what you were mentioning earlier, right, Josh, with it tagging onto Melzer.
And look, everybody else has left. It's only Davies there, but they've inserted him, and they're going to explore elsewhere on the map. And Lev still keep 3 players.
Yeah, Nozzle does spot it.
Grenade.
Aid in hand. Felt the pressure. And there we go, straight into ropes. That's King, pounced upon. They removed that position all the way back over to Way. Ring around the rosies. Never really know where this team's going to land. There's a pull, there's a nade. Shy, close to the corner, him and Taco. Got to do so much more. Towards the back of the site now. Seekers going across. Damage done, I think, straight through the wall as well as a target-rich environment. Close to the corner, no one's cleared. Knows where the time is running so damn short. Taco, can he deny it?
Left.
Plant, close to the corner away from him. Nothing to deny this one. Still active into the elbow. They know he's there. It's a double face as Mazzino seeks to gain a bit of information, a better ground. All down to Taco, and Davies has got it watched. Missing the shot on either side. Knives what? Oh, it's whiffy.
He pops the knives at that point, Brad.
It's whiffy, man.
I mean, Taco had knives at a much earlier point in that round, and I wondered if he was going to pop them. He had updrafts to work with. He could have gone for a denial onto the spike and maybe tried to make the hero play at that point. But under pressure, feeling like he could have got swarmed at any point, he's stuck holding the angle with the off, and he pulls it out at the end.
Is that not an indicator?
Maybe a bit of the stress getting to him.
Yeah.
Or at least, hey, you could read it the other way, that he gets the confidence to win the 1v3. I feel like that's an inopportune time, though, and an ult removed from him. As Leviatan take it. BO5s, very much, you need to be stable throughout. It's not about peaking in one map. You need to be able to bring consistent performances the whole way through. Shy only has a Stinger here, so a Stinger and a Judge being brought in on the defense side.
Yeah.
As King pops his ult in mid.
And the money is dodgy, but they want to light up some weaponry around these big ults. Hoping that the Viper's pit will offset the economical disadvantage. B main controllers theirs, though, on the side of crew. Spot on
Concealment.
Mazzino.
They're looking to just post Davies up.
No way!
And that's ridiculous. Klaus just spamming that common angle, catches Mazzino, and Nags looking to control the reaction on the other side.
Goodness me. A flick to the side here. Melzer also watching for it, anticipating a push out. When you've got the 2-player advantage, again, the pressure is on Lev to perform.
And it becomes so difficult when Leviatan lose a player on one side of the map and try and make a play on the opposite side. They know that there's 3 players B main. They're looking to try and push something out towards A. They know there's only 1 player there, but Nags is holding a great defensive angle and hits the shot.
Shy flash deep into A main there. It didn't tag onto anyone. Gave him a bit of false information because the rest of the crew now grouped up towards it with 30 seconds left, but he's made his way back onto the side.
30 seconds left.
Oh, this angle.
So
Unorthodox,
exposed.
isn't it? So exposed, but he wins the first fight out.
Spike down A.
And gets away.
Repositions. Tucked into elbow. Can he get any more here to try and offset it? Potentially open towards main. There was 2 players there. Out in the open again. Time is running so damn short. It's 12 seconds. Shy could be an absolute miracle worker. Doesn't win it with a wider face. It's Melzer trying to get down. King from long range with the judge. There's got to be some changes after that one. Surely he's hopping round the corner but cannot escape it. The sightlines were set onto him. 6-1. It's the scoreline that we face right now, Josh.
And this is absolute devastation. I mean, every round that Leviatan has tried to go for a half buy or some kind of force, they've just been I mean, what is this? That's absurd. That's not even part of the game plan. They're trying to get Davies posted so that he can work a pick, and Klaus just grabs it anyway.
Yeah.
And that, Bren, is one of the most ridiculous things in terms of how this run has been working for KRU. They've been getting the first kill 68% of the time. I mean, it's probably higher now. It's probably more towards 70% if you're taking these rounds into account.
Wider is the face again, and you're feeling it. It's desperation. It's running its course for Lev here. King, I mean, he feels like he has to make a play with the snake bite pushing forwards, but already too many players have fallen with the stingers in their hands. I mean, it's a weaker bite. Got to go for plays like this, but this is just looking like KRU cementing themselves, Josh, even further.
Yeah, they're gonna... Leviatan are gonna try and go for this, but double stingers in hand. Nozra with his ult, but there's no point committing the showstopper.
Guy's contacted. Yeah, I mean... Just a tap onto it, hoping he can force the fight towards backside, expecting there to be a player there.
And as Nozra slowly gets squeezed out of this round, KRU are going to be absolutely in the ascendancy.
Yeah.
First map, all flying. And there were a few questions about whether the break between the upper finals and the grand finals was going to hurt this team's momentum. So far, not even slightly.
No.
I mean, they are looking
Put the doubts to
dominant.
rest.
Enemy remaining.
You know the wild thing as well about that first kill stat that I was talking about? They almost get 70% of their first kills. Most teams are around 50%, right? During the regular season, they were even worse than that. What's wild is it's not all Kesnet. It's shared kind of evenly across the board by this team. I mean, just now, Klaus is 3-1 in first kills to first deaths.
Yeah,
exactly the same as Kesnet. So these opening duels are happening everywhere.
If you told me the numbers that Klaus is putting up here now compared to the regular season, I mean, I'd assume someone else is playing on his PC because they have just been ridiculous. It's like a different player. But sometimes, this tournament structure, this format, the KRU players have spoken about, how it favors them, the long regular season, playing games out. For a team like KRU, you could argue Lev as well, I mean, doesn't favor their play style. And especially that momentum that they gained playing match after match after match. I mean, there's no team that's had a harder path all the way here to this grand finals than a team like KRU. They've had to battle all the way from the very beginning.
They had no second chances at the start of LCQ.
Now,
and here, just getting slowed down slightly in mid. 50 seconds left. And if anything has been a bit worrying for KRU in this half so far, it might just be the clock. They've had a lot of plants with about 10 seconds left. And maybe that's something that Leviatan can focus on. Not giving first duels easily, playing a rolling retreat.
crossfire setup. Together, it's ramp with him and King. Nozwa, can you do the most here? Well, it's all King, seemingly. It's 3 on the board. Dodges the flash. Magnificent. Melzer, last one standing, and an ace denied.
Ready.
Much to the disappointment of the crowd, yet finally we see Lev getting online a little bit.
It's got to be more than King, though. It's got to be more than King. He's got 3 times the amount of kills as the next highest player on the scoreboard for Leviatan.
Wasn't that the story of the regular season?
Exactly. That's not going to be how Leviatan win this series, is with King going nuts. We know that he can do that. He's a phenomenal player. But he needs the rest of his team to also provide rounds like that to keep things competitive. It's a good start, though.
Time to keep this one moving. Again, operator v operator. Davies, it's no piece of it towards main. Steadily taking up that ramp control.
It's a nice teleport that Davies has got set up. It's going to take him all the way back to safety if he gets pressured in sewers. So he can just work picks on his own here, and he's not worried about any kind of crunch setup. Chamber's so good for avoiding trap plays. Not that the double duelist comp runs too many of them that Leviatan are using, but it's slow and cautious from KRU again.
Now Davies is here on this angle. Just has to dodge the Sky utility coming his way, but he can hold this space well. Main's also being covered by Nagset, who's just behind him.
And you can see that Lev are adapting here, only using their utility later on in the rounds. They know the KRU are going slowly and carefully, so they're using flashes and seekers at 50 seconds.
Hang about, Dash is here. Here's the reload, and he claims the first. Nagset, he will fall. Pull right at his feet, shows stop, it lands. Kesnet, so consistent with it, but he's got shy there. Back up right behind towards the elbow. Landing the shots, and the Rhino is here, man. Oh my.
Everything left down to Melzer in a 1v3. Playing against his former team, calling the plan for this round gonna awry, and he's just got to save.
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
What a performance from Shy there. I mean, and Taco, putting on like an Aspas cosplay, essentially.
Yeah.
It's so good seeing Taco activated, because this player has been in such a slump for such a time. And on both of these teams, you're getting people who have previously given us underperformances, Taco, Klaus, you know, step up and really show what they're capable of. Fight for it. At the end of the year, at the final hour, showing that they're capable of getting their team to champions. Not just competing for the middle of the pack, not just deserving their spot on a roster in partnerships, but actually fighting to get into the tournament that means the most at the end of the year.
It's been a while since we've seen these two teams at any form of international events outside of lock-in.
You want to play? Let's play.
That's what this is for. KRU used to be a staple of almost every single event, but a bit of a gap in terms of that. Lev fighting hard as well to make sure that their season doesn't end in disappointment.
And I feel like one of the big adjustments that Leviatan have made is saving their utility for the first kind of 40 seconds of the round. They know that KRU are not going for big 5-person pop hits at the start. So that means you don't need to throw as much early utility. But you've got to make sure that they don't contact into you. And KRU are taking a lot of space and a lot of liberties up in A heaven.
Dangerous. They haven't crossed the threshold, just the open window angle. Shy is out in the open here, so is Nozwa, and they're just wide open. They didn't expect that space to already be granted to the KRU players. Nags is ready for the push. It's fallen to pieces.
I just love the adaptation from both of these teams. Leviatan are playing a slower defensive round in response to that. And Melzer calls for them to go contact forwards. Okay, if Shy's not going to use his utility to find out where we are, we're going to walk into him. They're scared of us at this point. They're scared of the Davies op. Especially when he's got his tour de force active.
Yeah.
It really is beautiful. The system that KRU's figured out. A combination of Melzer working with the newer coach Atom and the time that they've spent. And some of the time off as well.
Oh, yeah.
To ponder,
no, trust me.
to rethink, to make sure you don't get stuck in a rut.
Yeah, some people warm up in aim, lads. Kesnet's a GTA role player. That man is loaded it up, trust me. That's how he's getting his warm up in. But if it works, it works. Some rest and relaxation, it's paying off for a team like KRU. Had a hard time of it. It's been a marathon this season.
Final round of the half. And apart from a brief showing from Leviatan, KRU have completely been in control. Lev are going to try and mix things up now with Taco walking down mid. The operator, in theory, should be able to find these players, potentially, like Melzer and Nags.
The contacting, yeah.
But they normally hold very safe positions, Brent.
Yeah.
While the rest of the team is doing their job. Oh, and Taco oversteps himself and gets punished. That's the worry.
Falls down, Nozwa, satchels up in the air, flashed up, blinded up. He cannot move a muscle. He's brought down. The ult completely negated. That's a -8. With a minute left in a round. Oh. That is precise.
What a shot.
It leaves it up to 2 for Lev. Final round of this half, but all but locked up now for KRU. Should be the 9-3.
And if they win this round, every single round that KRU have got the first blood, they've managed to convert. 100% 5v4 rate.
And no more worries about the operator. Contacting to be heaven. Xeno. Up and down control, but he's just one man with a Guardian. What can he do? He's feeling it. There's one.
30 seconds left.
Good shot to be found. Smoke propped up, finds himself the upgrade with the rifle, but the plant's going to go down. Nevertheless, does get the Cosmic Divide online. Maybe he can do something with it.
I've got your trail.
Another star planted, but here's the Seekers to spot out where his last two players are. Aimed it down. It's a deeper smoke. It does give him a lot of exit opportunities, but spamming through the Vandal is risky, giving it away. Out in the open, Satchel at his feet. Shy is dealt with all down to Mazzino, and he cannot withstand it. 9-3 is the scoreline we look at.
What an incredibly well-played half by KRU. I'm just amazed at the difference in tempos, the way that they run this 1-3-1 kind of setup, and how good they are at neutralizing defensive aggression from every team. Melzer is calling a masterful game to knock his former team out potentially here if he can keep it going and get his new squad to champs.
It is a masterclass in terms of the calling so far for that first half.
And Nozwa, the player that has been so fantastic for them on Split and had a breakout performance playing the Rays on this map, going missing here, not able to find the value on the defense side, which should be his best. This is going to be very tough. And we're only at map 1.
This is crazy. 4 players grouped up, seeing if they can get a cheeky kill. Nozwa spots it, gets out. Luckily with his life. There's a response. It's instantaneous here from Lev. Shy out in the open. There was no real coverage there, but under smoke. And Davies does reposition with the rendezvous. 10 health, though.
They know where Davies is as well. They know exactly where that teleport went to. He needs help from Klaus.
Deep flash. It's good. Davies dodges it and still lands the kill. Heal not online fast enough. The nade will clean him up and finish him off. Shy just poking and prodding towards the side here. Nozwa still containing and holding, but he does get traded and brought down. King is close to the corner. It's a one and done angle. It's a fight also waiting to be taken here. Mazzino for the right chance of this backstab. Nade is there. King close again to the corner. It's finally called out, but he's already claimed 2, and there's Mazzino. Final line of defense. Ready to strike when his team needed it. So, pistol round for Lev. Maybe the start of something. A string of rounds, potentially.
That's exactly what they need to get this started. There's no other option for them if they want to be able to win here on Split. And that's going to show you a bit of the different tempo that these teams are playing at. KRU went for a 4-person push down mid, and that's going to force a reaction.
Get me there.
They think they've already won. I mean,
Yeah, that looks like A5, I'm telling you.
why are we here?
Exactly, man. Pop it off. I love it.
I mean, this is a day for the LATAM fans. It really is. You can't lose. You really can't if you're
Cheering for one team or the other, but yeah, the region as a whole is going to be winning. Well, here it is. Striking back. They are... What? With the shorty getting away with that. Nagzet claiming too close to the corner. This is suddenly in much more than danger. This is looking almost lost. The spike out in the open. 2 players left standing. That economical advantage, it's gone to pot.
And the spike being down is a massive problem. I mean, Mazzino is so far away, just assuming that his team are not going to run into Nag's double shorty kills.
Yeah.
Nagzet in the corner, just being able to pull those both out is spectacular for his team. How do they recover this? They have stars that they can put up. That's going to deny vision, but KRU are going to spam. No damage done just yet.
No one even walking into that direction. Instead,
look at Melzer watching behind him. Worried that they could have got all the way behind to screens already.
realizing they could have got out of there, but he didn't pick up the spike.
There's 20 seconds left. This extraction process has got to be moved a little faster.
Yeah, no opportunities to pivot over to B. It has to land onto A for any chance to win the round here. Smoke's close. Kessler is out in the open. And here it is. Time playing its part. 12 seconds left. Close to the corner. It's a 1v1. Oh no. Nozwa has the spike, sticking it down here. Melzer, does he choose to take the time with it? It's planted. Damage done. Only 78. Will be around the corner with the right clicks. That's the finisher. Gotta be joking.
It's not the cleanest round of Valorant I've ever seen in my life. But that's incredible for KRU.
Try harder now.
It will do.
The decision from Melzer is really nice there. He knows that there's a big decision process for his opponent to either get the plant down or to challenge him. He waits until he hears the spike sound planted, but then, oh, the classic right click almost betrayed him.
Yeah, I mean, that is... You're leaving it up to a coin flip.
But look at the reaction.
The right clicks. You really are, but yeah, they're loving it. A thrifty. They answered it right back.
And when there seemed like there was hope for Lev, Oh, dashed in a moment.
The wind taken right out of their sails. Desperation on display there. Taco hoping to deep dash, maybe take some space towards A, but he's brought down so early. Not ideal. Yes, it's a half buy, but at this point, every single round, every single moment counts.
Right there.
And KRU do tend to be quite bunched up in terms of how they defend. I mean, you watch them on the map, and they're looking to try and get active with 2 or 3 of them, going for pushes or reclears. They're not happy just holding these static positions, and I think their idea is pretty excellent. They keep putting pressure on teams. Like that. Mazino ends up walking into them. KRU looking to get up to 11.
I think it's smart. Group up as well when you're up against a half buy. There's no danger of getting overwhelmed, a singular player giving over a weapon. Giving up that A-Heaven control. It's a mad scramble, isn't it, on the left side. Hunting for an open angle, an open shot, but 30 seconds left. Which way is this landing? You don't want to be saving these guns.
30
And what must
seconds
be
left.
running through the heads of the players that are just dead right now and having to think and ponder the fact that they're down 4-10. I mean, a 6-round deficit on the opening map, not the way that Leviatan would have wanted to open this. So difficult for them to even come back into this.
Spike down mid.
There's a trade-off, but a cleanup.
And you've got to wonder if that kind of mentality as they just have to sit there in these slightly slower rounds, stewing on the fact that they're down to their rivals from LATAM, a team that they've been better than for the last year at least. You got to wonder if that's going to impact them heading later. Lev have got to be able to brush this off unless they're able to mount a comeback. Because Pearl used to be at the top of Leviatan's map pool, but KRU have looked amazing at it recently.
It's the benefit you get when you go through that uppers. The double ban, moving Fracture and Haven. The second map, you know, the second map ban, a bit of a toss-up when it comes to what KRU would want to remove, but I think Haven's a decent one.
And while you would, as a competitor, want to just focus on the here and now and make sure you get this round, there's that little pressure in the back of your head as you realize the score at the top of the screen.
Oh, yeah. Dash forwards. That's deep into heaven.
With a judge. I like
the judge, yep. Seen this play before, but no util to his name. That's the money running dry. He's already used his one smoke. How does he get in there? Showstopper, Nozwa, can he pave the way? Can he clear out a bit of a space and an opening? Davies, you are mad to take that fight, but he does bring him down. Just the 1-for-1. Taco close to the corner. Dog doesn't clear it. Klaus, oh, he's wide open. Wide open, and there's the kill. Surely running right into him. Kesnet, he's claiming it. It's carnage. In the final moments here. 3 versus 3, winnable still. Having control. Still theirs for KRU. Lever all playing, tucked towards side. Series of these close angles and one of them positions. Down towards it, nags it. He wins it out in the open, vulnerable. Forced to try and trade and take matters into his own hands. It's up to Shy. 1v1, time running short. Does Melzer hang it?
Not quite.
I don't think so.
It's close, but I don't think he's got it.
Damage done, but not the defuse. Barely missing out on that. Squeaking by.
And a lifeline for Lev. They're going to still be able to buy in the next round. It's a Red Bull clutch. Davies is actually right inside his rendezvous there, looking to try and fight the showstopper and still get away. Doesn't quite manage it.
I thought he was out of range of it. He didn't have his little gold vest on.
I think he just stepped out of range of it to fight the showstopper and take a more aggressive angle. But you know, the concept is there. Unfortunate though, millisecond timings.
Yeah, barely. Will this be a turning point?
Oh, Taco is so deep inside the pit.
That's a dash inside to see if he can punish. He was pre-maiming towards Mail, actually, expecting the pit to be offloaded from that position. King, he's already vacuumed it up. Pushing forwards now. Showstopper all the way through. Kesnet spots it and nails it. The Rockets, the consistency. This is looking like 12. KRU, just like that. That's from back of a round of their own.
Awesome movement from Kesnet there too. Using the blast back of the rocket to push himself away from King and around the corner so he couldn't get punished.
I'd love to see if anyone is tracking as well the stats on this. It feels like Kesnet gets a kill every time.
Every time he uses the showstopper.
Yeah, every single time.
He's got to be the most efficient raise that I've seen with it in this tournament. But you've got to remember too that this is Kesnet's best tournament run ever. Yeah. We've seen amazing star-level performances from Kesnet since he first came onto the scene. And yet this is still him performing at his peak.
Blocking vision.
That is quite ridiculous.
Right there.
And it's been one of the big reasons why they're able to power themselves forwards here. You heard Valorant and Sean talk about how much of a weight that just lifts off the rest of the team.
30 seconds left.
And it helps them play better as well, I think. You know, as I said, it's not like Kesnit's getting all of the first kills. He kind of is here on Split. He's got at least 5, I think.
Again, another
6 or
decision
7, maybe.
to save here, Josh. I mean,
Yeah, it's tragic. I mean, Leviatan are playing for the draw at this point. I wonder what this ends up doing to the
10
mentality, but
seconds
this is
left.
how they play. This is how they've practiced. And these are the kind of decisions they go for.
don't blame them to a degree with it, but you got to keep these guns as well if you're going to make this decision. If you're not going to make a go of the round, you've handed it over. There's a 12 for KRU. Almost anticlimactic in the way that one goes. Will they keep the gun? Shy. He stays alive.
Very close. Doesn't really help them too much. And a timeout called for Leviatan. Look at that movement, though. Using the recoil of the showstopper to push himself back around the corner and ensure that King is given only the slimmest of timings to trade that.
Yeah, we've been treated some premium Raze gameplay over the course of LCQ. Some of the movement has been pulled out. It's been nothing short of incredible.
Like map between these two teams. And it go down to the wire because I thought Lev looked explosive with Taco and Nozwa playing up towards their best. This double duelist duo has not been able to get active at all, and that is full credit to KRU. They've just shut it down utterly.
Everything on the line now. Look at the investment. Of course, you have to buy up around it. One round stands between it. Melza spamming down. Damage done, certainly. And here it is. Pull at their feet. Nade as well. It's all collapsed upon. Into the choke point you go. You do not stand a chance. Cosmic Divide. It's a bit of respite. Away from all this damage. Maybe you can get a 3-1 for them. It looks like they want to try and fight through. They were gearing up for it. You can see Shy was holding a flash, I think, for maybe a pop flash play through to Cosmic Divide, but they had to give up chances for it, and the weapons are still not good. 2 rifles. Plant only just going down close to the corner. King's got the pit online. Can it help? Pushing forwards now. It's KRU trying to take space in it, but this is an observer's worst nightmare. Walls and smokes and pits in the way. Everything is obfuscated. Faced up though.
Look how close and tight the KRU players are together, trying to trade each other out inside the pit.
Fully blinded up, Shy. Can't see anything, doesn't know what timing to be taken. That's Kesnit bringing him down, and 2 standing. It's here. King with the Bucky. He's traded. It's spraying. It's random. It's a prey. There'll be no blessings on the other side of that one. Not for Leviatan. KRU winning map number 1 here.
And in absolutely dominant fashion, KRU showcasing that their map pick to start things off of Split is one.
Game, so it doesn't get really any harder than this here. Map 2 of our grand finals of the LCQ. This is it. Pistol round beginning on Pearl. Will we see that answer back?
Leviatan instantly committing to taking a bit of space over here.
Yeah, right into mid. It's Taco, he's leading the charge, tanking the alarm bot.
And also the Trailblazer going down very quickly. So the Trailblazer is supposed to clear all the way through and funnel people in so they get pinched by Taco and Mazzino. That didn't really happen. Davies able to break it back off into a safe spot. And now Taco just controls the middle of the map. This is going to force somebody to keep an eye constantly on this little area underwater that they've currently got their eyes on. But in general, they're waiting for a commitment into the A site.
Yeah. It's good mid-rounding so far. You break all of that util, like you were saying.
Here.
Have to keep your eyes now locked on the different middle areas of the map, just in case a player could be lurking.
I mean, the spike is heading now towards B. They have 3 players prodding over here. It's only Kesnit.
Yep, he's got to do the most. Flash. Avoided, dodged to the side. The spike now. Change of mind, change of direction. Mazzino is the one who strikes back. Just, again, lurking into these 4 positions, doing a significant amount of damage.
They're expecting people to have rotated off A, but there were still 4 players here. They thought, surely if we take contact with Kesnit on B, they'll leave.
Rooted into the back of the side as a dash forward as well. All that space is going to be taken, killed, exchanged and traded high tide in the face of Davies, but finally it fades. Flash forwards, here online, no one's watching the angle, and they're taken out, but it is, again, just up to Melza. Still in that position, weak enough from the prior shot. Taco picks up 3.
What a cool pistol round there by Leviatan. Clear gameplay right from the beginning.
Let's leave whatever happens
Very
in
quickly
the
taking
past.
mid control, going towards B link, seeing if they can work a pick by catching somebody out of position. And then, yeah, I mean, almost overplaying it, to be honest.
Yeah,
A
I mean,
little
with
prod
3
towards
players
B.
anchoring towards the back,
there's no real reason there to expect there to still be 3 or 4 players on A and only Kesnit watching B. Almost caught Leviatan off guard. But Mazzino was very good at being able to take that space.
Wanted to see return to that presence here of Taco. That is a lot of presence in mid.
What a shot.
Okay, Kesnit. Yeah, pulling out shots like that, I shouldn't be surprised. The name value that this guy commands.
And I think King is looking to try and control the Bulldog, but it's already been taken.
Yep.
He's worried that somebody might have snuck up here, and he might just get the info. Yep, there's no Bulldog left. They've already been here and left. They've scampered.
Right under his nose, but there is a plant online, so time is going to be ticking. Puts that pressure now onto KRU, and there's going to be that backstab. You can see still King looking around the art position. Back at the side control still for Lev, as well as A main. Mazzino brings his duel out. High tide in his face. Propped up. Taco spots it. There it is. Deep to the angle. Mazzino. Perfect timing with that one. Pushing forwards, and the crossfire is excellent. So
I believe that's the first time the KRU have managed to get the opening kill and yet lose the round in this match so far.
wow.
And of course, they're massively not favored in that round anyway because their economy is just so much lower. But they've put a bit of suppression here on Leviatans. The bonus round is not looking particularly great. Take a look at this replay from Kesnit's POV. If he's hitting shots like that, he's going to go nuts.
Stay down.
The Dex was talking about this is a great map to look at the form of the players. And the direct head-to-head that just screams out is Taco Kesnit.
Prior work that was put into that round here. We're heading into the bonus. The economy's not too good, but they have built up the reckoning. That's the big one. Mazzino picking up all those kills, and they're going to use it to try and clear out the site. It's Kesnit close to it, dodging the first one as well, trying to take the fight right to the opposing Jet player. Top it around, slowed down Klaus. It's supportive and suppressive fire. Down through the angle, didn't really know what he was aiming at, but he still collects the kill. And the site is granted, so player disadvantage still for Lev, but taking the timing now. Waiting for the next wave of util. Maybe even just contacting.
I mean, the next wave of utility is not going to come out for quite some time, and the Trailblazer are already looking to try and disrupt that.
Snakebite, all the angles pushed out here, and yeah, contacting deep into the
flash.
spawn. Flash through the wall. Melzer, he dodges, and he collects 2.
Team flash onto Shy as well.
Mistimed. Bit of a mistake. Moments like that as well. It's Lev trying to again take control back into the round, pushing forwards, but everybody falling. So, bonus round. Not going the way that Leviatan wanted.
Right from the offset, not going their way. The Reckoning invested too. That's a pretty large asset that they would love to have for one of these economic swing rounds, which, you know, the bonus round is an economic swing round, but also their rifles were just so low, their economy very suppressed. Here, this is the play where, to be honest, Melzer does such a great job of even dodging the flash. That's going to be a pretty straight-up duel anyway.
Yeah.
But when the blind doesn't connect on him and does connect on Shy, it's game over.
That's a brutal one. Guns in the hand of both these teams now.
And here's that Viper Orb that we were talking about previously in the pre-show. Nags just, King just spotting that out and realizing that Kesnit is pushed up deep towards B. Here's the IGL is going to be feeding that information to the rest of the team and telling them to more quickly and aggressively take mid control.
Davies. He knows how much they've been playing for this middle position. Just gets the one and backs out. I respect it.
So similar to what he did on the pistol round. And you can't push that. As the attackers, you just cannot push that.
You are never favored.
Unless there is a massive distraction, a huge site exec happening on A that distracts the entirety of the team. You're just always going to die.
Zeno did. Of course, he's still got this space up with the
This
wall.
is very dangerous for Melzer.
Oh, the knife Melzer, yeah. Doesn't anticipate it. He's still alive. 73 health. He wins the fight.
There's no way.
Not a chance, but Melzer is on one.
How does he get away with that?
30 seconds. Again, it resorts to this. Contacting all the way up. Nosworth, he's close. There's a flash around the corner. He's got backup. And the rest of his team, Klaus is watching for it. There's a reswing there. Shy out in the open. Brought down, vulnerable up. The utility is perfect. It is funneling these players. Corralling them. Nothing to be found. 2-2 now. Flawless for KRU. And a slight misstep. Losing the pistol round. Losing the follow-up, but they're right back up to that split form.
They are. I can't believe this. I mean, Davies does fantastically. That's a difficult shot to hit, and he does great. But how on earth is Melzer not getting punished by Mazzino? Melzer's positioning is a little too far forward there. He's looking to just try and jiggle the box, thinking that Leviatan are going to be using utility if they're taking B-Link control, and instead, Mazzino's walking up behind it. He's favored there every time, and somehow Melzer drops back and hits the headshot. Lev are taking a lot of map control towards mid, but they're not actually being able to convert that into good site execs that put pressure on the players anchoring sites. What we need to see from them is, once they've taken art control, committing to an A split, and then fighting aggressively for dugout, and trying to, you know, attack the players that are back there.
Yeah.
Naxet, Davies. Instead, it's more contacting around. And this could get very sticky. We've got Kesnit and Melzer in spots not anticipating these players to be so pushed up.
They hear the updrafts. They got to know they've lost control of Link. It's a double push up attempt. King out in the open. Pops up the orb, faking like he could be backing away. Look who's eager to take the fight. It's Melzer. He's still there. Wants to take it to him. Against the Stinger, barely winning out, but he does win it nevertheless.
And this is just a confidence difference at this point. And Melzer's looking to try and take the duel there. Wins it.
And this is such a similar game plan so far. It feels like every single round has ended in a familiar way. Poking and prodding. One side doesn't work out. Well, it's your turn. Mazzino and Shy this time seeing if they can work their way in. But again, never to clear out dugout. High tide in the face. There's a player trap there, but they're just taking a fight through it. Taco over the top. That's what we needed to see. It's 2 kills. Knife still there. No refresher in sight. Has to whip out the weapon now. He's picked up the upgrade. Lockdown. Placed down.
They have to fight it.
And Davies cannot defend it. Reckoning. Time is running so damn short. Davies makes a choice to try and fight into it. It's stunned up. That's a spike. Dropped down. Out in the open. Taco. He's noted. It's running him down. What are we witnessing?
With only about a second left. About to be detained, and Taco pulls it away. What a round from Taco Leah. Knives in hand, helping to put pressure on those players in dugout. We'll see it on the replay. Davies' perspective as he manages to spray down Mazzino coming in, and here comes the hero of the hour. Taco over the top, picks off 2, and then with Phantom in hand, ignoring the lockdown and making sure he takes out the player.
That is just nuts.
These are the rounds that Lev are winning.
Yeah, we are straight back into it. No messing around, no time wasted. Orb up, Cascade. Control now taken.
How does Kesnit find an angle, find an opening around this? The way that you play Operator into this is trying to find the opening.
No way, man!
And there are none.
Oversteps in south, of course. I mean, plenty more angles to play for with the new Pearl changes, but that is a little bit too much. With him falling, that's the go button. Cove. Plat now going down on top of it. King doesn't get away with it. Hoping and hunting for that timing. Melzer seemingly too aware for it. 4 versus 4 now. It's evened it up. How does the fight get taken? Operator.
They have Sky ult here.
Seekers. One still escaping. Zeno falls. Snag set. Dog. The collision course straight to Taco. Flash in his face. He's blind as a bat. Cannot see anything at all. He's fallen to the Nano Swarm's cruise utility. It's sublime. It's impeccable. And it's overwhelming.
Excellent stuff from KRU. The way that Pearl B post plants play now is very different to what you will have seen during the regular season. It's not just everybody leaving the site and playing utility lineups. It's much more dug in, playing back halls, trying to anchor, and that puts a premium on snake bites, on nano swarms to clear those areas out. And the combination of the vulnerable and the nano swarms there from Davies and from Naxet, it's so good at clearing those positions. They're very diligent with it while the wall is up. And it puts them at 3-3 with economy advantage.
Placing alarm bot.
Stingers in a half armor. What's the play here? We're going to see a brawl and a clash into mid. The flash does connect. The 4-1 split towards the A side. Trailblazer. Taking note of a lot of this. Taco just pure disrespect, isn't it? Running right over towards the Nano Swarm. Taking a lot of damage in return. Trailblazer not seeing anything. This is getting dangerous here.
And here's the difference. Normally, mid-control doesn't get converted into a site take. This time, the lockdown. Oh. And Melzer again onto King. He's unaware of King's positioning, but wins the
No
duel anyway.
way.
And there's another one.
It's instinctual.
He's just in ridiculous form currently. He's running around the map, wide-swinging people, deleting them.
Taco, not Taco over Judge in spawn.
Yep.
Yeah, well, just trying to make the most of it again. Mazzino as well, of course.
Player
It'll
standing.
take matters into your own hands, but sure you get the plant out. It's a lost round here for Nozwa. Too many players to overcome. Planted towards the back of the side, but he's not going to be able to get there in time. And of course, it's being watched by Kesnet with the op. Consistent.
There are just so many moments already, and we're only just finishing round 7, where Melzer has been in a spot, potentially could have got caught out, but he wins the gun duel. Here, remember the Trailblazer had come through here, not found King. So Melzer's running into A main, thinking, all right, if there is someone there, I'll take the duel against them, but he's not exactly sure where they are. Runs out, better weapon, boom, King's dead. And we've seen that duel, Melzer and King, very often. Those are the two IGLs trying to get the better read on each other. And also, King, you would usually expect him to be the more impactful player.
Yeah.
Currently 0-5, getting knocked out by a 10-3 Melzer, who once again, bears reminding, is calling against his former team.
Scout destroyed.
Same play by Lev. Not too much difference again. Trailblazer goes through trying to clear out. This time there's a Reckoning layered on top. It's going to be the extra element to really clear them out. I mean, it's dug out on the back of the site. Nagset can't hold his ground and stand it down.
And this is very different. This time, nobody in dugout, nobody in spots where Taco can try and contest.
Oh,
But Taco just thinks that the entirety of the site is for free.
he's not supported there either.
Oh, no help.
A strange play. Cove broken. Their advantage now going towards him, but again, have to play forwards time.
There's only
Out of
one
swarms.
snakebite here. They can't really play lineups.
Difficult position to try and do so. Cove actually missing as well, going a bit further back. This really just could be a scramble. Coming down to just trying to push through these smokes and making the most of it as well. It's all being watched. Again, Mazzino, he's been cut off from all of them, pushing past the high tide. 2 players into main. That's left standing. So many targets to choose from. Half on the defuse. Enough time being bored as well. All grouped up crew. 5-2-3.
You got to have better plans than that to beat Crew on Pearl. Only Taco going forwards to try and contest Secret there. Once you get the plant down, once you actually get the site, you need an idea of what you're going to be doing in the post plan. How are you going to be playing it? Taco goes forward, the rest of his team goes backwards. They don't have utility to be able to play lineups properly, so they shouldn't be playing off site. I think Taco makes the right play, but he's made to look foolish for it because he's the only one going forwards. Gets caught, game over. Crew now look like they're starting to stretch themselves a little bit, momentum flowing.
Definitely on their side. Look at that, ready for the cross. Using the wall once more to try and lurk their way deeper into Link. Alarm bot, I believe, is going to meet them, so it's pinged out immediately. Crew are going to be aware of it on the defensive side. I got to say, I mean, how many times have we seen this from the Lev game plan? It's always the mid-rounding into the middle of the map, removing the Killjoy utility, but it's having much bite after that, right?
It's very reminiscent of 100 Thieves, yeah, and they were using their ultimates to be able to get onto the sites in the past couple of rounds. They had Shy's lockdown, they had Mazzino's Reckoning, but now those tools don't exist anymore.
I'm like stuck in Groundhog Day. Because we're going to get down to the final few seconds, and it's going to be on contact plays and looking for a pick.
And Kesnet's got the read here. He knows they're in B-Link. He knows they're here.
Not baited. Smoke around the corner.
And that's a nice one. Threatens that they could be walking out.
That's smart.
But they've still got to actually convert the mid-map control into a split. And this is where Lev have been struggling.
Look at
They're so
decision.
indecisive.
Yeah, it just showcases and the positioning, the way they're moving around the
30
map.
seconds
And again,
left.
it relies on contact plays in towards the site. It's literally a repeat of
Blinded.
so many of these prior rounds. Which direction is it going to go? Util being used to try and clear out towards the dugout.
And now you have to force the fight towards Secret.
In the face, dashing forwards. Taco, he wins his time. So damn short. Snakebite. It denied it. The plant's not going down now. It's up to Shy to try and do it. Flushed up, blinded. They push right through. And you have to stick it. It's the only way you win the round, but Shy is an easy target for it. 6-2-3. Crew are on a heater.
This team is so good at making it uncomfortable for their opponents. Lev are lost. They don't understand how to get into the site and put pressure on these Crew players who just seem to be absorbing the aggression and then bouncing back.
Should get something done with it. They'd love a thrifty round here.
So you can see the pings on the minimap right now. I'll just point them out in this kind of area. Whoops. That's a bit large. But over towards Secret, in this kind of spot. So potentially, King calling that they're going to go for the same kind of thing. Over towards middle. Trailblazer goes out, broken by Davies.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, smoke committed. Onto the turret over the top. He spots Kesnit. That's a pre-fire.
But all of this is just fake pressure, Brent. It's the same kind of idea once more. And I believe we're going to end up with a push into A.
Careful here.
And those pings on the minimap, I think, is their idea of where they want to be fighting in the post plan.
So proactive from KRU as the Trailblazer re-clearings into links. They know it's completely clear. They're going to be calling this now. Giving up our control. Naxa is out in the open. Pit. Timing here is so important. They're going to try and rush him down, and there it is. Removing the Pit. Taco, who's leading the charge on the right clicks. Definitely doing the most.
Welcome to my world.
Plant down, Pit of their own. This looks like the best chance yet for Lev, but they're going to be cleared out anyway because of this lockdown. Giving up the space.
They can still keep the Pit up.
Free reign, but everybody playing towards the main of the side class is a pop flash play. There's nobody else playing up off of that. The turret's even getting into the mix. Davies brought down in the middle of it. And 2 players are left standing now. Taco out in the open, hunting. Just down to Kesnit. I don't think they're going to be offering you too much more. They want this operator out of his hands, but honestly, the money and the bankroll, so damn good.
What is that?
Giving him a warm-up for the next round.
Kesnit's got 9k. He could afford to throw the operator at Mazzino.
Money's not really a problem, is it?
He could offer it as a donation. A tax write-off. That round, Leviatan finally able to convert, and off the back of an audible too. Once Davies used his lockdown, they pivoted. They went for a more passive setup. They used King's ultimate to be able to control that area, and still, whilst leaving the site, have an opportunity to be able to get back in more easily. They now have lockdown. Other options avail themselves.
Yeah, this was the important one.
Yeah, there's the opener that really makes the difference too.
That Pit went up. Didn't get that opening kill. Doesn't look like it's ending in that round win. New beginnings though for Lev. Kesnit, you're blinded up, facing the wall. Tucked to the corner. This is a really dangerous position. He lands it anyway. The opposition taken out. Goodbye, Taco. He's still close to the corner. This is looking all over the place. Melzer, he's so pushed up, there's no one to help him out. The Cobra reason drops down. There's golden trails pointing over the head of Klaus. They know he's close to the corner. That's what the snakebite is for. Lockdown. He has to reposition. He has to move. Everything's fading away out of it. He's still looking for kills here. It's King. He is brought down. There's really no follow-up. There's no trade. He's going to be detained, though. Is there the coverage? Hunting him down. His last player tucked to the corner. They didn't know there was a gap. Kesnit's close to it. Cove still there. Sheriff in his hands. We're going to back out, can't hit the flick, and this is all over the place. Trailblazer, finally the detainment getting off here. Naxet, round for the flank, it's a 1v1. Norse picking up the operators at the tool for the job. Naxet, he rips off his head, the hubris. You dare use that against me.
What? A round by Naxet as well. He goes on the flank. There's chaos everywhere. The rest of his team is holding them back from trying to get a fast B hit going.
Last round before
Delaying. And Naxet comes around and has to win 2 big duels. Amazing play from Kesnit to open things up. The dash as well gets him away from the Trailblazer. This is not a free kill. He has to take a straight up aim duel against Shy and then wide swing it off. And he gets it done.
So damn sharp. It was a jumble over towards the one section that previous round, but final round now. The first half. Chance for Lev to really bring this one back.
The score
Dyer close to the corner there. And the dog is broken. You got to suspect there's someone behind that box, and they do with the spam.
Yeah, that's a major first kill. Leviatan is struggling with those massively on the first map. Now they're going to make the pivot all the way over to B. They realize that Kesnit isn't there with the operator, and that's great. They can take all of this room down towards B long without having to be too worried about him. And a 5v4, can they convert? It would make the scoreline look so much better. This has still felt dominant from KRU.
Yeah.
And yet, it would be a 7-5 half if Lev can win the 5v4. Not bad at all.
Ball cutting through and away. Melter is out. They want to try and flood defend this one. Push them back where they stand here. There's a cove in their face, still giving a bit of breathing room for Takulia. Could be alone here. All comes down to this aim duel. Kesnet is granted it. 3 angles, spraying him down. It's Melzer who claims 2. King and Nozwa love to collect this. It's a 2 versus 2. Out towards a smoke. And still,
Got the spike.
Nagset miles away. Left to his own devices in the 1v2. Spike still needs to be planted close to the corner. Opportunities and chances to win this with King being so low, but you've got to think it's favored. And with that, it confirms they know his positioning.
Shouldn't be lost now by Lev.
No.
They can set up crossfires, swing off King's contact, or at least it'd be better for Nozwa to take contact here. A bit of a reposition as well as King goes into spawn.
I mean, this is perfect play by King. There's just too much to watch for. Jump spot, first one, King. Wide face. Danger in the round, but no. They collect it together. Fighting them back, 7-5. That is respectable for Lev. Somehow, they scrounged it back.
With Taco having his performance.
To this, and the desk was highlighting as well, Josh, you know, you in the pre-show on top of it, about KRU's attack side on this map of Pearl. They are doing things that really nobody else is doing. It just sets them apart from other teams.
I mean, Leviatan as well, actually, are really messing with their Viper setups. I haven't seen many other teams swap the orb and the wall around. You know, just take a look at the way that King's got things set up. He's got the orb over here towards B, and then he's got the wall that goes all the way through here that's going to be applying pressure on the defensive side.
Nobody to receive this, though. I mean,
A 4-1 setup.
Yeah, they are just fully walking all the way in.
And yet they've got the right read. Leviatan have 4 players on A.
Grouped up. Fully enough to try and stop this here. Mazzino immediately there with the wall. Instantly used in response towards the back of dugout. They are none the wiser. It's KRU who are in trouble right now. Landed the shot still. Melzer, he's alive. How is he still in the fight? 2 kills for it. Maybe a few more, but Nozwa taking matters into his own hands. Running gun with a pistol. Flash no connection. Into the back. They're not watching for it.
No
Over
way.
the wall. It's finalized like that. Melzer again. They could not clear him out.
4 kills for Melzer on the pistol. He's been so monstrous for KRU on Pearl. And if Lev wanted to be able to win this map, I feel like they had to take both pistols. They had an amazing strategy, completely read where KRU wanted to go. KRU looked baffled that there was 4 players ready to meet them.
I mean,
They had no clue that Taco was in dugout at all. They're like, what's that guy doing there?
Yeah.
And then Melzer somehow able to stay alive, dodge it all,
still persevere.
and kill 80% of the team.
Massive credit as well. I mean, we could pop off about that previous round all day long, but we're right back into this one. Let's see if they'll poke out and prod and see that they're running right into another stack. Same again. Nozwa spotted.
So, Nags has gone for that defensive, attacking orb reposition. So they've thrown Nags orb deep down B, and once this orb goes down from the defenders, he'll be able to bloom his. They can drop it whenever they like. I mean, at this point, they're just facing, not even using it.
Yeah, very willing to take the fight, aren't they? Jump spot. You hear it. This high tide just being used to try and reposition close to the corner. You call it cancels. You try and exit out of here. Now that all this gunfire is going your way. Got to know the players are there. That is nasty stuff from Kesnet. Just off the traces. Locks onto his targets there. But again, there is still that danger because Spike isn't being planted in all of this. And as King, he's just locked into the corner. Nozwa's there. He's ripping their heads clean off. It's 3 in a round. And KRU, it's up to Davies. He's backing away,
30 seconds left.
licking his wounds, but can you really still win this one out, man?
There's no way.
Spike's in the open.
There's 20 seconds left, and he'd have to recover the spike and kill everybody on site.
Just no chance.
It's just over. And that's 2 rounds here where Leviatan really should have won them both by stacking the
seconds
correct
left.
site and creating crossfires that have melted KRU as they commit. I thought we were going to see KRU call to cancel, be able to use the fact that they had control of that entirety of B long there with their repositioned Viper orb, but instead they go for the contact play. We've seen both of these teams try to mix things up.
Maybe in the chaos of the situation as well, you know. Wow. I was watching it all. I mean, these are beautiful shots by Nozwa. You've got to give credit to him.
But at the same time, able to just walk out, no smoke in his face, flash connects, and those players are kind of sitting ducks there on the attack side.
It's the trouble when you use that high tide to try and cut across. It doesn't block off heaven.
So there's 1 hero rifle been kept, thrown over to Kesnet,
Stay safe.
and he's now got to try to carry this round as Leviatan have managed to work their way back into the half. Been tumultuous already.
Yeah, maybe a chance for them. The jiggle, shy. Good information gathered with that one. At least 2 players spotted. Orb gained. The crew game plan, very different from what we just saw of Lev. I mean, they were putting their sole focus, it felt like, on their attack side rounds, all towards the middle section of the map, but just the extremities, farming up the orbs for crew, looking towards those ultimates for later rounds.
And you've got to pay attention here to Takolia, I think. He's pushed up very deep towards B. If he gets overwhelmed, it's a disaster for the team.
Smoke, so one way. Using it to try and reposition. Bullets firing. Because it's wide out into the open. Taco.
He's lucky to get away there.
145 from the Sheriff. Very lucky to get out.
This is called all of the rotations over. I mean, look at the pack making its way to B. Meanwhile, the attackers have still not decided exactly where they want to go, but regrouping with their IGL, who has A main control. There's only 30 seconds here. It still shouldn't be too dangerous for Lev. In theory, Shy should be able to hold on to this.
Yeah, I mean, the nanoswarms.
But the should is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. And we've seen big, thrifty rounds.
Third spots it, gives the timing as well to pop off those nanoswarms. Time is really going to be running short. Access to the site, but already the rotation from Lev. They are grouped up, barreled up. There's a flash into the corner. Davies dodging it towards the pack. Oh, well, landing the shots. Yeah, the rifles. It'll sail them through this one. Tumultuous.
Enemy remaining.
Players just trying to withstand it inside the smoke exit. Good luck. Not a chance for it. Right read of Lev. Heavy over rotations, but no punish there.
And I think that seems to be the game plan so far from Leviatan. We've seen 3 rounds, and in each of them, King has been calling large stacks on the defense side. In the pistol, they had 4 players on A. In the eco round, they had all 5 of their players defending B as soon as they heard.
Taking a mantle for the first time in a long time versus these 2 teams. This is a fight for even more than that as well. Not just pride of being the best team in your region, the chance to represent the region on the biggest stage of the year. There it is. No nuance beginning here for crew again. Heavy play onto the extremity of A. Pick up the orb, funneling it into Klaus. Maybe that's the big one that they want to work towards as well if they get a B long angle.
Yeah, you can go over and collect the B orb too. Seeker's on the defensive side from Nozwa. He's going to help with information gathering. There was a flash there into A main. I'm not exactly sure whether it caught onto Davies. One of the big things that crew were doing excellently was giving false information to the sky on split.
Taco is alone.
See, there's a cascade being used here, reposition of the orb too, and yet no defensive rotations just yet.
I like the Seekers. As soon as the orb gets propped up towards B long as well, the Seekers now connecting and collecting to a bunch of these players into mid. This gives them the information. It gives Taco a bit of peace of mind as well, knowing that there's not a high chance of it being that B poppy. So that's the watch for it, but now they're going to be hearing it. Many footsteps. Great rumble heading all the way towards the side. It's up to Shy to put a stop to it. So does Util still lay it down? Similar positions for it. Off the turret's contact, they're popped off. Kesnet separated away. Vulnerability as well. King's there, applying it. The snake bites. So difficult to chew through. Trying to get themselves in, but it looks like crew are just lost. There's the Cove. Beam down, broken down, plants there. Stuck and planted. An extension to the round, but they are losing players left, right, and center. Only 2 left standing. It's Kesnet and Davies. You'd have to pull off a masterclass, and they're playing from these positions. The Cove blocks off one of them. That's a beautiful usage of it. Forced to beam it down. They know Kesnet's there. There's one. Tap with a rifle. No one actually sticking this. Enough damage done, but well, cleaned up by Leviatan, and they've evened it up.
Both teams struggling with the same kind of thing on their attack side. They get to the site and they are finding it difficult to put pressure deep into Flower and deep into Secret. Look at how much space Leviatan have to play around here. They're not getting pushed back. They can still play these spam angles.
1 enemy remaining.
And other teams try to save their Trailblazer so that they can go very deep on those kind of hits. Other teams are just happy to push through their own harbor wall with a Sky Flash. But there needs to be something to apply pressure to those players and stop them from setting up so that they can spam you and try and flood retake as soon as you get the plant down. Leviatan struggled with it on their attack side. We were talking about how they Couldn't convert the mid control into a sight hit. Same thing here for KRU.
No fear, is there, from Kesnet? I mean, he was fully blinded up, still just tanking the open angles here. Doubled up as a high-low setup, I believe. Taco with the AWP. He's holding slightly further back. Nosworth taking the contact of it. Flash in his face. Taco has to get out of there. Postured and pushed off the angle once more, but does Taco really want another go with it? The dog broken.
And now they know where the operator is.
Timing. Nosworth. He was watching it.
Oh. Did Nosworth see anything? It doesn't really matter because they know that the attackers have control of the middle of the map. It's Nagzet that I'm looking at here. With his orb, just able to control this area of the map and try and deny information away from Leviatan and maybe even work a pick.
What's the goal? Maybe moving into it. The read they got off these left players. Just
Thing is,
high side.
Nagzet's put his wall up so that the players can creep up B-Link. And it's King getting info on the other side. Back to back, these two Vipers are.
Props up his own orb now with 30 seconds left. Time. Once more, the fuse running short. Burning to a crisp. Dash into the smoke. Cuts it up. Enough for the crosshair placement. It is messy. It's the 1-for-1 still. Into the back of the sides. Mazzino striking forwards here with the rifle. He can't quite claim the easiest kill, but there we go. Time still running low. 10 seconds remaining. The spike needs to get planted. It's dropped in the middle of nowhere. Down to just Davies. Everybody cleaned up onto the site. He's picking up the pieces. Maybe do that damage to the economy. Maybe get a rifle as well and get out of there.
The rifle's huge. Davies didn't want to survive with only a sheriff at that point. So he'll thank Leviatan kindly for the donation. It's getting messy between these two teams.
Yeah.
KRU can't quite figure out how to break the defense. Very similar kind of setups that we saw on the other side of things. But also, the Lev players, aside from that really nice shot, looking a bit shaky. King with the crouch spray, committing to it for a long time, and Mazzino, you know, not the cleanest in terms of mopping up those eco players and get set up for a retake. If you use a post-plant reckoning, those players are going to be in much more comfortable spots when they try and get the retake off. These are the kind of things that will be going through each coach's mind and the players. As Lev look like they actually want to try and post up a little aggressive on the defense side. Oh, it's King going for an ult in mid. KRU have been playing around there a lot. But the trio that takes map control is currently in A main.
Jump spot. Oh, close. Very close. Taco. Almost getting away with it.
KRU do not want any of this pit.
Yeah, no part of it.
And the rotation can't be heard by anybody on Leviatan. It's Taco Leo with an AWP though. Leo with an AWP though.
Again, another chance to really do some damage.
How did that not spot Taco?
Too short.
He's gonna go for it.
No way. Cascade is there! That is beautiful stuff! The reactions instantly, no Kesnet. He shuts it down. No chance for celebration. Here's the reckoning. Slap that one down onto the side here. Mazzino backing away. And here it is. We were talking about it prior. He's got it in his back pocket. Is it a flood attempt to try and get back in? Cove is down. No spam into it. Stuns. It's rattling. Pushed up onto them here. Melter, he has to stand his ground to dodge away from them. They're all stunned up, yet still they get the kill. Onto Shy. He had to try and punish that, of course. They were locked up into that position. Now 3 players left standing for Lev. What work can they do? Still haven't cleared out the back of halls. Melter, he is blinded up, but the movement dodging to the side. Players are dropping like flies. It's left up to Kesnet. One shot there, flick and a reactions. Cove in his face though, and time, it has to be played! King, out of the fuse, backing away, lands it, when it mattered most.
What a retake from Leviatan. I thought it had all gone wrong when Shy had to dash in and try and follow up on the reckoning without any of the help of the rest of his team. At that point, KRU looked like they were in position to be able to hold on. And yet no, the third retake from Leviatan so far in this map started up in a player advantage situation by Taco with this lovely shot, but responded instantly. And eventually, Bren, I think one of the biggest issues from KRU's side as an attacking team is that they didn't save the reckoning. I wanted them to try and use it post-plant, and instead they used it to get onto the site. They'd already taken down Taco, they'd had that trade, and they needed to stop the retake from coming through.
Yeah.
They used it a little too early. They gave Mazzino a chance to respond, and Lev flooded back. You said it. That was probably the turning point here. Momentum now for Leviatan. And they have responded beautifully after going down 13-5 in map 1. A BO5, it's all about can you rebound after big hits like that.
The fact that they bounced back here on pull. Good signs, honestly. Yeah,
This
that
is a
first
clash.
match. Okay. Wow. Taka not letting that one slip, is he? Turret taking the contact, but he's instantaneous with the shots. And is that just a read of what Naxit's been doing? Pushed up close to the screen's position.
Yeah, really well done. And look at how confident Taco is without any supportive utility to just instantly go back into A main and hold the op angle. He went for a pick art, immediately regains map control for his team and information, which is going to allow them to stack B and stop this hit from coming through from KRU.
High tide propped up. You can see the worry. No flash at the back pocket of Klaus.
Right there.
Their flash
30
does
seconds
confirm.
left.
A lot of players waiting behind it. One in position from Mazino. There's a smoke as well. There isn't really a trade attempt, but no, they all push it together. Wading through the high tide. It's flawless. Everybody alive. I'm just thinking back to that prior round. One earlier, the one that really made the difference now because it's Leviatan leading to 11. Another gun round on the horizon, but it's getting away from KRU, isn't it?
It is. This is another opportunity for them, though, to try and battle back. This is 6 rounds in a row that Lev have won on the defense side. KRU, they only got the pistol, and it was immediately taken away from them. But you're looking at the ultimates that they can get up. 1 orb away from the lockdown of the Viper's Pit on the attack side. That's massive.
Everybody grouped up.
So the flash didn't connect, so Klaus doesn't use the Trailblazer. He realizes there's nobody pushed up deep. Orb acquired for Davies, that gives them lockdown to be able to take sight.
Look at this deep push in mid. Lev are fully aware. They have got deep flanks in every single crevice of the map.
The question is,
given.
Is it going to be able to work once Nags gets his pit down? I don't think there's any way to stop him from getting the plant in the cove.
There's it. Updraft dash forwards. Looked like he wanted to try and disrespect it. It's a dog. And he updrafts over the top. Taco, a right click, shutting it down. No util to set that one up. And Davies is desperate, but desperate might just do it. 2 versus 2. That's what it's come down to. Into the pit. And Nagset still alive. Spike is planted, but he is surrounded. Does he hear the footsteps? No, it's slow going. Mazino, he was creeping up behind. And Nagset was not ready for it. There's the 12th round. Locked up, claimed up. Leviatan fully in the driving seat now for map number 2.
The flank that you mentioned, Brent, does end up providing the final dagger in the heart potentially for KRU. But Targolia, I mean, we were talking and hyping up the battle of these 2 Jet players. The desk saying you don't get a better opportunity to look at the head-to-heads and the form than here, where there's a mirror match.
Planted.
And Taco delivers. The double updraft to be able to pick off one and then a right click. And despite Davies' best efforts, I think at that point the damage has been done.
Oh, yeah.
Remaining.
What a moment to come alive. What a resurgence in the final hour. Leviatan with 7 straight. On a map that was at the top of their pool during the regular season. But KRU looked amazing at it too.
Well,
Got him.
not out of it yet, are they? Dash is now active. Kesnet wants to try and take the fight straight to them, but yep, that's the crosshair placement. Noswa distracted. To keep his eyes locked on to Kesnet, but set him up favorably.
Lock in sight.
Just as we were talking about how great Lev have been looking.
Yeah, I mean, of course, after a run of rounds and they get up to the final hurdle.
Wall fades though. ADS betraying him. Lev, it's 3 versus 3. The Reckoning is online and they're going to use it to clear out this site. That's going to give them an indicator. It's Davies in main. He's going to do so much more, but there's a wall in his face. It is the last one left. That's the map. It's secured. It's locked up. 4 in a round for Mazino. 13-8.
That defensive half was absolutely... When you take a look at where they are.
Oh, they are grouped up.
Yeah, set up for this opening defensive pistol. Is this going to be some kind of tiles crunch play?
KRU are setting their sights towards it. I mean, look at the positioning here. They're pre-aiming this. They have a high-low setup.
No, it's just going to be
With
a
the turret.
slow walk out.
And yeah, no noise made. All eyes on the top section of mid, hoping for a jump spot. Anybody that they can pick off, but they have complete control of mid.
They are absolutely hoping that that was going to be an A exec from KRU so that they could take top mid control and funnel people into the killjoy.
None of them fell, and they've given up access to the site. What it does mean is that they can fast flank around now. They break the turret, and they obfuscate and still contact. That are really not giving anything away in terms of how many players are playing towards the main, and this is an important fight to win out. Paranoia is excellent. Just on the backside of that one. Still, Nagset is being squeezed close to the corner. He will fall. That's the beauty of it when you take that mid control. Up and down, Davies taking matters into his own hands. A lot of damage off of that shock dart, and players are weak. They are low. Maybe it can be winnable still. 2 versus 2 towards the back of it. Noswa, there's the one and cleaned up. In the end here, pistol round for Lev.
Huge pistol round that mostly comes down to the fight in B main. You were talking about it? Melzer managed to save his Paranoia. They realized there was nobody on B, and he uses it to try and keep those players alive. Instead, they just couldn't hold on for long enough. Lev had the pinch coming through. One player towards spawn, one player market, the rest of them coming B main.
DRX. They did that a long time ago on Ascent.
And actually, DRX and Leviatan, 2 of the most innovative teams on Ascent, both of which have started to fall off in recent times and are looking to rejuvenate their playbook and find that old form. And a lot of it, I think, is going to be based here on whether KRU can get the read on what's happening. But I've never seen that pistol strap before from Lev, so clearly cooking up at least a couple of new ideas.
A good idea.
We'll have to see how deep it goes.
Early knife. Hangs onto multiple targets, so...
And that 0 point that King just threw, that's one to keep an eye on. Because I don't think KRU are the kind of team to frequently go for fast A hits. We see them all the time doing 1-1-3 setups. I was talking about this at the beginning, so was Sean, where they have Nagset watching over towards B main. They have Melzer watching another part of the map. And then the other 3 players taking control.
Yeah, Taco. There it is.
And so this is more what you're expected to see from KRU, is them prodding and looking for picks that they can use later on. Of course, the weaponry looking way too small here. But you might end up seeing Leviatan saving their utility. And that's a great smoke by Melzer.
Yeah, he has lurked himself into the forward position in mid. Unfortunately, not able to capitalize.
He was making sure the moles couldn't see it.
The tag, we're spotting out these players here, but again, basic game plan here for KRU. Control the extremities, build up the ults, farm up the orbs. See if you can get any picks, but it is healthy for Lev. 3 players grouped up. The time running this short. This is worrying. You've gifted a rifle over. Was that a Guardian? Needs to be containment. Mazzino, is he there? Classic. Shots fired. There is that damage being done. It was getting to the point where I was almost thinking they should just let him live, but...
Yeah, but at the same time, with 15 seconds left, he actually could have got the plant down on A in that situation.
Yeah.
And take a look. You were talking about farming up the ult orbs. Davies is only 2 away from having his null command online. An extraordinary ultimate to have for any attacking team on Ascent. And that's partly because he's been getting the ult orbs up, partly because he got that kill on Mazzino and dies. This is going to be a large tool for them if they can survive this anti-bonus round, which they weakened fairly considerably here. Leviatan do not have too much going forwards.
Top flash play. Over the top. Makes him second think any aggression into mid, but look at KRU already. Teeth. Straight down the middle. Clean up the alarm box. Another flash to re-clear into market. Taco was playing anti. Not able to get a kill.
It's a very different defensive setup from Leviatan. They weren't running this throughout the season. King goes for a peek, but it's a double catwalk setup. A bit of a trap over here.
Important kill to give over.
And meanwhile, all this time, right, they know that KRU are going to be running 1-3-1s where you have a player super far back. Right, this player's really far away. Melzer all the way back here. And in the meantime, the turret is just controlling and giving information all throughout A main. So this turret is getting massive value for Shy. It means he never has to worry about that and can focus purely on Cat.
Another Angel. Taco hunting for a flash. Again, has to dodge it. Paranoia dashing across. That is perfect play. And well...
Noswa tried to join the site, exactly.
Yep, right behind them. Enemy behind their lines, but no. Brought down. Left up to 2, and of course the weaker guns. KRU.
30 seconds left.
Slow, methodical play from them. Pays off.
Spike planted.
Going around for it.
And KRU are the kind of team that are very good at being able to mold their plan on the fly. They don't tend to come into a round with too many set ideas. They're extremely default heavy. What that means is, even when they see a setup like this from Leviatan that Lev have not been running very much before. There's not much VOD footage of them having King playing mid, ready to flash through a smoke or anything like that. With Shy playing over towards A, they just don't run this defensive setup very often, but they're still able to find ways around it, KRU, where they're calling. Now, this is one of the few rounds where you might see a fast pop with the null command, and yet still not going for it. Only 3 players in A main, all 3 caught by the 0 point.
Yeah, disrespecting it. Maybe the goal of this is to pull players and rotations over. They timed the dart out. That's Taco. ADSing, but they double face it in the end, and Mazzino will pay for his life.
1 for 1 there. It's not too bad.
down.
Whoa, baits out a peek from Shy, who just manages to get away.
Very dangerous.
That's exactly what Nagzet and Melza are looking for and trying to prompt out, trying to punish. Here's where KRU like to group up, about a minute on the clock, and go for execs. This is going to be a 4v4 where you could easily see them just ripping off the null command and sending this one in. Yeah. But there'll be no recon dart to combo. Shy might be able to get away with taking a fight.
That is very good reaction times. You knew that null command was coming through. Deaded the Nana Swarms, taking a fight, just onto the ledge, only the one, bringing down Davies, flashed up, beautiful supportive utility. That might have even just been King's own flash, I'm not even too sure. Davies just dropped down to his knees.
Spike planted. I think Davies may have just got that one off, but yeah, you're right. Both KOs using a flash there, but somebody's found value. And Taco and King are going to make the very difficult decision of saving this one.
And I was wondering, in the setup to all of this round as well, you know, we mentioned Davies, he built up that null command really early. I was wondering if Shy was going to adjust the setup a little bit, maybe playing off site for the hit to come through, but he tanked it, and at that point, there's really no helping you. You are alone on an island.
But at the same time, the fact that Klaus had gone down meant that he didn't have to worry about the recon dart. It's much easier to try and anchor and take a fight in that spot, especially if your reaction times are good enough to pop both the Nano Swarms as the null command's coming through anyway, which you pointed out he did manage. So you don't necessarily have to play full retake in those situations. Again, especially when you know the KRU are not a big 5-man rush kind of team.
Yeah. Will they keep the guns intact? Yeah, looks so.
Early decent signs and a difficult decision for the economy here for Leviatan. High-low setup there.
Definitely been attempting it a lot. Here's where it gets tough, though. Lev on the defensive side. They have 3 rifles. Maybe not. Second-guessing themselves of whether they want to buy up into this one because they do have Takalia's knives, but instead opting to save for the next. But the danger zone here is you give up another round to KRU, they're up on 3. They can start building towards these ultimates. Very close to it. It's an updraft play.
And this is a much more standard setup from Leviatan. Having King and Mazzino anchoring over towards A, Taco free-floating around the map, looking to see if he can force some duels.
Knife, I believe, sailing over. That's going to clear wine and close. Yeah, so they know nobody's there. Here's a flash play. Up into the clouds. Thinking about it. Jump spot. Mazzino's been playing there a lot. King close to the corner. They have a nade. Has to worry about his back, but no, giving it up. Yep, there is space there. So pick up the orb, and Klaus has brought the Hunter's Fury online.
Now the question is, what do you go for? You know, Kesnet didn't end up burning his dash in that situation. It wasn't a full attempt at an A hit that got stifled. They were just prodding it out and seeing if they could bait out defensive utility. They didn't get the paranoia out of Mazzino. No nade forced out from King. So not a particularly successful pump fake, but there's still 40 seconds left.
Yeah.
A lot of this could come down to whether Mazzino gets a kill.
Breaks the dart, but he's paranoid. Tries to reposition as well. Smokes
30 seconds
hiding
left.
everything, but deep into the sights. Kesnet very cut off away from the rest of his team. Door needs to be closed now, but grouped up. No players have left falling. Always potential for this to really go wrong now for KRU. Hunter's Fury is coming late as the hit's coming through. Dart lighting them up. The util's good, but Hunter's Fury might just be better. Rifle though. In the hands of King. He's leading the charge for his team. The IGL really taking names. Hopping over towards Jenny. Shy just dodging it, spotting it out. It's a 3-2-1 face. I love that discipline. But Nagzet left alive. It's a 1v2 for him. A jump spot, doesn't know if he's sticking it, and that is played to perfection almost. Really love that from Lev.
The duo there of King and Shy masterfully playing with the player in hell. Baiting peeks out of them, making them very uncomfortable. And that little skip over the top from Shy onto Generator, like you said, just completely ruins them. The whole retake too had Taco Leah dashing forwards from heaven. I mean, look how aggressive Taco is off the back of the recon dart. You don't very often see a mid-air Hunter's Fury kill onto a jet. But that's a great retake. We don't quite know what to expect from these two teams in terms of anticipated score lines. Last time KRU played on this map, they got smacked around, but Lev have been banning it.
And that's a massive round to win. Put it into perspective with the economy once more. It's brought them right back into it. Turret catching the contact close to the corner. Spam, it forces Nagset. He's got to just swing wide out of danger.
The reaction is quick though through mid. Kesnit's going to try and take advantage of the fact that Leviatan are fighting over B main to get very, very deep.
He's aware.
Yes, but it's pulled him away from Catwalk, and now there's an opening there.
This is beautiful. KRU are finding all the gaps in terms of that defensive protocol. It's up to King, and Aurora aim duel. Nade out. Drop to the floor. No angles to watch for. Pop flash play. Does he really want to try and take this fight? He blinded up the two of them enough, long enough to be favored for it. Close. Hugging the corner. Kesnit still there. Dash to disengage. Shy. Does he want another go of it? Try and take the fight. TP. It is tumultuous. It is chaotic. It's right clicks right into his face just in time. No command. Ripping forwards. Trying to take away the Blade Storm from him. Facing with the fight. Kesnit. How's he got that? He's not lacking the confidence. He wants to take it straight to them, but he's low. Spike drop down. 35 seconds left. Which direction does he want to go into? It's a 1v2. Backing away now.
So
Updraft.
frantic.
All over the bloody
30
place.
seconds left.
His position is noted. It's spotted already. He's got two players hot on the tail, and they are very healthy. A tap. An attempt to force. One more dash still active as well. He's earned that one prior from the kills. He gets the plant down. But as he tries to take the fight, King is so damn calm and consistent.
And that's a frantic round on both sides, but many questions being posed there by KRU. I think the reactive play down mid is excellent from Kesnit. He gets so deep there, and King is in a spot where he's got everything to do. He's got to worry about Kesnit flanking him from behind. He's got to stop the cat push from coming through. He's got to make sure he doesn't get overwhelmed while he's using his molly and his flash. But he takes the right risks at the right time. And the IGL team captain for Leviatan that sailed them through such sticky waters in the past comes up good again.
Advantages need to be found here for KRU, but be hard pressed to do so. Even the ults they've got. Could use a lockdown to try and clear out the sides, but Nagset is on the section to where all of KRU are grouped up, and even if he did use it, there's plenty of tools left for Lev to try and use as well, just to get rid of it. Now,
it's another swap up, and I'm looking at Noswa with his Hunter's Fury. He's going to have a great line to try and put a lot of pressure on these guys. If they decide that they're going to push, here it comes.
Let's it rip all the way through. Updraft, Kesnit avoiding it. The bursts now firing off, but really no indicator of where they are. It was an attempt of a trap play off of Shy's alarm bot. That was the whole purpose of it, but it was broken so early they didn't know what timing to take with it.
And instead, it's Shy that takes a ton of damage, and he's got to stay alive here. The retake is going to rely on his lockdown.
Massively giving up control of mid. Damage right through the wall as well. The wallback kills. Taco's fallen. And suddenly, I mean, just like that, the defense.
He's 1 HP.
Swinging. It's 1 HP. Kesnit. Bro, he's cut off the bottom section of his screen. Doesn't care how much health he has. I mean, so willing to take these fights. Now, Mazzino, he TP'd into the back of the site. So much more to do in that scenario. Committing the ultimate to shore it up, but leaves it up to Shy.
Is this Kesnit just in full carry mode?
Oh, yeah. Feels like it.
He's so happy to take the duel, and it's the two big star players for either team. It's not necessarily tackle fighting against Kesnit, but it was Kesnit there taking the duel against King. King stood at switch, trying to shut down the star entry player of KRU. A player that he could have potentially had at the beginning of the season playing on his team. A 1-2 punch that would have been nuts to watch. But Leviatan decided to go in a different direction in the offseason. And then Kesnit manages to take down Tagolia, finally brought down, that 1 HP reduced to 0. But it's Lev who are feeling the hurt. It's so tough to tell how many rounds KRU actually need here on the attack side for us to consider it a good half. I mean, already they're winning in terms of the gun rounds. Leviatan, half of theirs coming off the pistol and the follow-up. But what's a good scoreline here? For most teams, we would talk about like a 5-7 half being good on attack, but there's so many unknowns on ascent.
Don't know what to expect. Long break for these teams. I mean, you can go by the numbers, the averages, but yeah, it feels difficult to try and apply those labels to both of these teams. Also just pre-aiming, expecting there to be a dart. Kind of landed to the 0 point, so he gets tagged up there. Taco now with the dash. It's activated. He's close to the corner.
Here.
Real danger of this one. There it is. Flash play. Fires, repositions close to the wall here. He needs to be bailed out. Smoke Waiting for the bullets. Position's even closer here, but, well, yeah, that's King. He's looking to try and take a fight as well to try and help him escape, but he ends up paying for it.
Isn't that always the way? Your teammate gets in danger, you die trying to bail him out.
Another pop flash play. Reactions are good and clean, but there it is. The Phantom spam, Zeno. He's quick on it, pushing all the way through, trying to take the fight to him, and again it's left up to Shy. He's caught it on the tail end of Nagzet. There's one kill, but still two players remaining.
Kesnet is looking to reposition here. Now that they know where Shy is, he's got good information, but this may give Shy 2-1v1.
What?
And what does that play from Melzer?
Oh my, and Kesnet whips the shot still. But Shy wants to take the fight right to him. No messing around, no funny business, no nuance for it.
Win. Show me where to go.
Granted Kesnet another chance to close it, and of course he does. 4-4.
Too close though.
Yeah,
Shy
very close.
Shy in a 1v3. Almost being able to pull it away. But this entire round was about trying to bail out Takolia. They knew that Takolia was playing in close mid. They combo a flash recon on the fly. You can see the pings as they audibly call for that play to happen. And it kind of drew in everybody else from Leviatan to try and bail them out.
Yep.
And that's knocked Leviatan's economy down as we head into this round. They're looking to try and make something happen with Taco pushing out with the Guardian. And Mazzino looking to take fights. It smacks of desperation, though, the way that Lev are starting to play this half.
All the shots missing. Pop flash play through the middle of the smoke. They're playing anti. There's a paranoia. It is nice, used, but a little bit too late there. Still, damage is being done to these players deep into mid. Where's the follow-up? It's not really there. It's non-existent. Taco open and hunting for a head, but nah.
They're all looking to try and fight mid from many different angles, swinging on catwalk, swinging from market. It does feel desperate, but also credit to KRU. They're not getting caught out by this. They're becoming defined as a team that neutralizes your aggression.
Yeah. Spike planted.
And usually that's coming from their players on the extremity. That's coming from, you know, a Nagzet or a Davies when he's playing the Sentinel. Something like that, but instead here it's the three players that are looking to try and take map control that are holding angles and making sure that Lev don't get away with anything. These swings on catwalk might catch off a less ready team. But KRU look right here, prepared for everything, and happy to just slow the round down when they're getting pressured. Who is this KRU? I mean, the KRU during the regular season would have been trying to react quickly, pop into places. Kesnet flying off into the distance, leaving the rest of his team behind. This squad is now excellent at just being able to hold space.
Waiting it out. The protocols in play as well, just players playing anti-flash, always contingencies if there is that next level of aggression.
And winning a lot of their duels, it's got to be said.
Yeah.
It's one thing to hold, and then winning LCQ, to book their spot at champs. That's unheard of.
It is unheard of. Yeah,
it's not that you couldn't write it, you wouldn't write it because no one would believe it.
Yeah, no one's buying that one. Here we stand. Trying to fight over A main control here from Lev. Normally a bit more passive with the approach, but they are disrespecting it. KRU already running, grouping up now outside of B. Big ult's online, of course. They have the lockdown, so does Shy.
And the pressure over towards A, right, has just kept these three players over on this side of the map, unable to really do too much. Now they're going to start to rotate as the drone comes through. But it could be a little too late.
Lockdown for a lockdown, though. There is ults to clear this. Hunter's Fury is going to be utilized. Going to clear that one up, so have to respect the space. Nothing to break the opposite side of it, though, but they will just use the guns, rifles, spamming down that angle. Melzer, he's the first to fall. They finally get themselves into it. Anything to try and stop plays from flooding in. Just close-up positions, plan. Time to get off. No smoke for spawn. You got to be careful.
The positioning, though, is quite nice here. And Davies is going to make sure that there is no retaking utility.
Yeah.
No recon dart, no flashes, no paranoia.
And this
everybody on Lev has all of their utility left, can't use a thing.
So damn hard. The timing on that ult is really quite precise. It's beautiful stuff. And now finally, as it fades, paranoia. There's the go button being pressed. Lev barreling forwards, pushing forwards. They still need to deal with Klaus close to the corner. He needs to play his life here. The longer he lives, the better it is. And he's claimed a second one. Why not? Davies versus King. Battle of them. Time. It's ran too short. King realizes it. He cannot win the round. Gonna get out and save the rifle. KRU That's beautiful stuff.
And while we had questions about how many rounds was a good half by KRU, at this point, I think we can say they are running away with it. It's Klaus once more, Brent. He's 12 and 7. You've pointed him out, and he's so good for it. He's in B main, getting pressured by everybody with a recon dart, wondering whether or not he should be trying to take fights or what he should be going for, and he's just taking the nicest little peeks. Catches tackle there, and once they realize he's there, spamming through a small amount, thinks about recon darting, goes for the wide swing instead. It takes them so long to root him out of that spot that they're much weaker on the attempt getting into the site and pressuring the rest of his team.
Beautiful stuff from a player that he's had that resurgence, rejuvenation. And deeper and deeper. And here it is, the final hurdle of LCQ.
Catfish no longer.
Yeah.
Looking like a shark out there.
Yeah. Certainly Lev not going to be coming into this one with any semblance of disrespect. Like a different team, Taco. Jumping wide with the knives, but it's Kesnut who brings him down. With that pick, they don't rush into things. KRU happy to temper it once more. Backing away.
Drop the spike. They need information, so King flashes out into Catwalk. But that also tells KRU which areas of the map they're worried about. And once you see nothing there, you expect King to retreat, and they just contact forwards.
Yeah.
It's a masterful read. We're seeing excellent calling out here. And importantly, risks being taken, the right risks. It is a risk to walk in
30
there.
seconds left.
You have to be sure that your read is correct.
And here we go.
It is.
The space is given up. Mazzino trying to weave in and out the smoke that he placed prior, but only the one. King, such a wide swing. Melzer spots it. Does he seek to try and take the fight alone? No, he waits for his team as well. Settling themselves here. Deep dart around the back. No one actually dealing with this one, but Shy, God almighty, he's the one who falls. That's snags it right through the wall.
Yeah, I mean, he's lit up by the drone. There's nothing he can do about that.
Yeah. And forced to save. And there was 2 rounds left. Whittled it down to just 1.5. And KRU, tremendous lead. Maybe 7-4.
And while we have seen newer things from Leviatan, in these last few rounds, I think the last 4, they've just fallen back to their classic defensive hold. We haven't seen them try to get aggressive. We haven't really seen them mix things up. Putting the Sova over towards A, putting Shy there. They're just trying to make their classic setup work. And KRU are reading them completely. Every piece of noise that Leviatan make on the defensive side has a response.
Oh, it's an indicator, right? And they're just jumping on it.
And KRU are playing in such a classic, like, NA style. I know that sounds a bit silly as a LATAM team, but the North American teams forever have been just pugging. I mean that, I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I mean that they're just running a default and then calling audibles and trying to make the right reaction based on information.
The adaptability.
And it's so adaptable, so good. Melzer's got the right read every time, just based off info. This is a set play.
Yeah, deep. Oh, that's a punish. Into the smoke. Feeling his match. The Hunter's Fury is supposed to be the extra piece onto that, but there's really nothing else more. I mean, one tag onto it. Actually, a kill onto Davies. King facing them. This has turned into an absolute scramble. King with a solo push, rewarded with 2, and here's the response, here's the reaction.
Cancelled. Mazzino was thinking about getting deep onto B and realized he didn't have the time, didn't want to try and fight a 1v2 on site and leave his team to play the rest of the round potentially alone.
They'll take risks here. It's a 2 versus 3. The no command's already let loose and let rip. No abilities in sight. Nagset, what position do you take? Not favored with that fight. Ton of damage. Well, to the back of the site they go. They realize it's probably the only chance they've got, but there's no time. It's relentless in terms of the pressure. The util is being flown their way. Flash over the top. There it is, gliding all over the place. Lev, the 5th round on the board. Took everything to get there.
And a set play that really didn't work. KRU still had the right read, and yet Lev muscled past them. The Hunter's Fury does catch one in the end, but it's this play, I think, from King, where he's able to pick off Klaus and then control the re-swing by Melzer. King has been enormous for his team, but we said it before on Split, he needs other people to step up around him.
Yeah. First half locked up here on a set as well. Let's send it down to Sean, who's at the telestrator wall to break down a play.
Indeed, Brent, thank you so much. So this is
Backside, they either need to have amazing strats cooked up or win these big ones, the pistol, the bonus.
Snowball it, the advantages, leading it forwards. Comes down to this.
Look at this stack. Just looking to play a retake, essentially, once the Killjoy utility gets burnt.
It is played as well, just to give up the side entirely. Nanoswarm's front section of Jenny in the switch, hoping for an easy kill. Even the alarm bot as well committed. This might actually do some damage. No, broken.
Both teams holding on to their utility. Mazzino still hasn't used his paranoia. King still has a flash. On the other side of things, you've got Recon, you've got paranoia still. So this is going to be a big retake. And look at Shy, he's miles away from this. He's going to be on a very late repush up through Catwalk. This is probably going to happen after these guys from KRU have already committed.
Yeah, it's going to come down to this push and pull. Which team gets the most out of their utility? Paranoia sent flying over. The dart eventually dealt with the backstab of Shy. Does collect and does claim a kill. Davies is left wondering where is the opposition. Could go in any sort of direction and leaves it into the 1v2. Shy still healthy, low enough. There's the shot that lands with Klaus. Is quick with it. 3 kills on either side, but he does win out his.
And both teams looking really good there in terms of how they were trying to fend people off. The timing excellent from Shy with the backstab, but overwhelming utility and heaven control from KRU. There was a setup there for Leviatan to try and flash and peek into heaven and disrupt all of this. This is the play. And what is that?
Yeah.
That's Taco on the jump up spot. That's incredible awareness from Kesnit, because he knows the only reason to flash heaven is if the Jet is going to try and push. And he knows the only way they're going to do that is on the jump up box. That's the play. That's the kill that, in my opinion, wins KRU that retake. And it's a ridiculous one.
The pistol round was so damn important. Leading it to the A5. Now, we've been saying this all series long, but it feels like the other team immediately wins the eco.
That's very true.
Even after losing it, so...
But crucially, you know, the other team were able to win the eco because of, like, large stacks on a certain site, something like that. Lev can't really go for that kind of play. They're playing the attack side here. Even if they group up, KRU are going to have ways of holding them off.
Yeah.
So we need to see, I mean, share of headshots, essentially, right? That's the win condition for Lev if they want to get back into this one early.
Carmen core strat. Spotting other players, though. Yeah. It's going to come down to the Lev players. Ooh, a lot of damage. Even the dart as well. Kesnit forced to respect it. No space gain, though, in mid. Nobody really wants to vacuum it up on the Lev attack side. Grouping up. Looking for the B split. Have that mid control. See if they can deal with his turret. There it is. Finally gone. Deep shot dart. No one close to the corner. Here's our weak, isn't it? Just need to be careful here because they have lost control of that mid. You can see him slightly aware of it. 20 seconds left in the round. Coming down to it, time starting to really burn down. You don't want to be saving these guns if you are Lev. You've got to make a go of things. You've got to try and push forwards. Well, why not? With the time pressure comes the mistakes, but still, it's all onto this. Can they try and get this plan down? 4 seconds left. No, it was no smooth with it. Not winnable.
Unfortunate scenes for Leviatan there because they did everything else beautifully. The contact play into B. I mean, I was reminded of what Coach Atom said during that coach interview, where he said, we gave them too much space on Pearl, referring to Leviatan. We gave Leviatan too much space. And part of that was how they were playing on the defense side, but also here, you know, sat really deep in sight, allowing Lev to walk in on B, and only the time helping KRU in that kind of spot.
Yeah, maybe copping a little bit too much from Carmen Core there, so...
This buy in round 15 has nothing going for it on the KRU side. All of that damage done in round 14 leaves them with a single Bulldog. And Lever's still going to invest the lockdown. That's a massive amount of respect.
Yeah. Clears out the site, Melzer. Pushed into mid, Taco. Uh-oh, damage done. He doesn't win his fight out. 2 players detained though. Is there going to be an attempt to punish? Kesnit close to the corner. He's making sure to try and defend his teammates. This really is anyone's game. Dropping the gun. Tainment's eventually going to be fading away. 3 versus 3 still. Rifles in the hands. Mazzino and Shy. Mazzino taking a fight into them. Up close, onto Heaven.
That's a dangerous play to go for when you're in a 3v3 with better rifles.
Yeah.
But he makes it work.
They have handed over the guns though. Still, Crew could turn this. Don't really have the utility to get into this. They have a paranoia.
Mazzino's ready to hold it. He's waiting for any noise.
Not ready yet.
Here it is, ripping across the site. There's the one. Will we see the follow-up? Yeah, Mazzino watching onto Heaven. Dealing with it. Melzer, be happy to do some damage. Happy to take the guns away, but no, shut down in the end. So, respect showcase. Could have gone a little bit wrong there, but no, Lev, we win that round.
And a big one for Mazzino. I was asking another player to step up alongside King. In the first half, on Pearl, when they were able to mount that level of comeback, I feel like it was Mazzino having those big moments. He's a player that got exchanged in the offseason from one team to another. Mazzino was always the second best player on Crew behind Kesnet. He has to show it here in this game. They're going to head into a rifle round. He's got his Omen ult. I've seen some wild strategies with his Omen ult, but he just plays things slow and cautious.
Fake it a TP. Trying to bait the shots maybe as well. Close to the corner, that is Kesnet. Taking a fight into mid. Lots of opportunities. These kills to flow one way or another. Nagset, don't expect that one. Killjoy player to be cutting it up close into the corner into B main. This is Crew really setting themselves up now for that 10th round. Point with this smoke fade. It's all about the timing he's taken inside of it. Another one blooms and blossoms. Mazzino holding the paranoia. I mean, he's waiting for it. Some sort of signal. There it is from the rest of his team. Starting to move forwards with Melzer inside the smoke. Holding it. Counter paranoia. Swinging wide. Everybody stunted and stopped in their tracks. Look, King was. One player left alive. Nozwa with the spike. 45 seconds. It would have to be a 1v5. Just not probable. Just not likely. It's a double face. It's going to be meeting him here. Yeah. Easily won with the gun duels.
Yeah. Easy being the important word there, I think. Leviatan making it far too simple for Crew to dismantle them. I mean, in terms of the positioning that these players are dying in, look how aggressive Shy is in this spot, just completely alone. And then how aggressive Mazzino is, completely alone as well. And the other 3 players that are playing around in mid, Nozwa isn't really assisting as Taco and King push up deep. Only 2 players there get caught taking a jet head-to-head. You know, Shy and Mazzino are not controlling the outsides of the map in the same way that Crew are. They're trying to actually get aggressive and see if they can make something happen. And when those individuals get stopped, Lev really don't have a great way of responding. So with King picking up that ult orb, it makes me think whether or not he's going to make the large wraparound all the way back to A main. Now, that's an area that Shy's currently controlling. Maybe the idea is to get the null command online for this round.
Drone for a drone.
If their plan is to cross over to A, going through mid with no smokes up is dangerous.
Very dangerous. Quite exposed anyway, despite that utility. Down to a minute left. They made it too obvious. Now, look where Melzer is. Tucked into
and again,
the wine.
look, Mazzino is just on his own trying to take map control here. And it's very dangerous. If Melzer and Davies try any kind of re-clear situation, they might catch the Omen on attack.
Kesnet.
The spike is over towards B at the same time here. This is a strange play. But Mazzino's got his ult. He's going to be able to TP on B and help the rest of the team.
I mean, they're going to attempt a fake as well. They've got to win these fights, though. Mazzino, he's so damn low.
He can't die.
Exactly. He can't die! The TP! It's not in time. The nade clears him out. 25 seconds left. Spike making his way towards B, but they've anchored it towards the back of the site now. It's Melzer and Nagset together. Side by side, willing to put a stop to this one. Shy drops it down, and the spike out in the open. It comes down to this. It's anarchy, it's carnage, it's individual fights to try and make a path through into the round, down to the final few seconds, and King's not in position. Not at all to try and win it out. Has to save the gun once more. And Crew clawing their way once more to another map win.
And not only does he have to save, but gets picked off in the end. Devastating situation for the IGL for Leviatan to be in. Forced to play on the map that they've been banning recently and running an elaborate fake that was overcooked, to be honest. The thing is, when Taco isn't having success entering on a real site take,
Seconds left.
you can't actually run those kind of fakes very well.
Remaining.
Because the defenders just aren't going to give you the time of day. They're not going to respect it. They're going to try and challenge Taco. They've taken him down in mid in the prior round. Then they take him down in cat. And the entire thing falls to...
He's also sitting on a big ultimate of his own, though. Locked down at play. Could be looking
This is just fast B.
at really the turning point, and yeah, it will be the fast B play.
Now, when King's
No
in this
command.
spot, he normally just throws tons of utility into lane for Taco to entry on.
The knife, Odin, spam into the corner. He knows the sidelines, he knows the lineups, but there's danger there. He could be punished. Dart tagging him up. There's going to be the res all the way up. King's back into the fight, but again, Klaus still kicking with the Odin, spamming away. 22 bullets left, but still just enough to evaporate and turn Lev into absolute mincemeat. It's a bloodbath. Towards the site, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Klaus hopping around, looking like he wants to get more kills, but he still has to reload the Odin. Yeah, Kesnit watching his back throughout all of that too, making sure he couldn't get punished. And puts things in an impossible situation for Taco and Nozwa. They got 45 health between them.
Not enough, is it? Especially with them grouped all the way up.
Standing.
Playing it together. Safety in numbers. Happy to give Nozwa free access to the A site. As soon as the plant goes down, that'll be the indicator.
And just player of the map so far for me is Klaus. He's just had so many of these rounds where he's controlled the outcome of what was happening completely.
Also realizing he has to try and take an early fight, but the tower... Oh, Timmy! Oh, boy.
And if that isn't the story of Ascent,
Match point.
I don't know what is.
Yeah. Analyst Desk just needs to be breaking down that one round. Slow motion. Replay it. Stretch it out to about 2 minutes.
Yeah, this one's been devastating for Lev.
I think Klaus's heads-up play here. I mean, the Odin pickup is magnificent for any sort of fast pushes.
Yep.
You try and run it down with no command, you're going to get beamed down.
And this is the kind of setup where I would be expecting, usually, Taco to try... They didn't even realize that they got the kill. I mean. A bit of Schadenfreude there. So coming into this, crew up towards map point.
Talking about the deciders, crew. You just need the one more. Again, still with the ults in the back pocket. It's Lev pushed to the brink here. Guardians purchased. And Taco wants to lead it for his team. Great opener. Can you capitalize? Can you turn it into anything else? Dash forwards into it. Paranoia cutting close. That is a Hunter's Fury. It forces him into an updraft. Right out into the open, wide.
That's amazing coordination and communication for Klaus to set that up.
What an incredible call. Zeno creeping and crawling onto the side, trying to make something of it. Nozwa, why not? Let it rip, son. Gonna try and find a pick. But there are no targets there. Shots going so damn wide here. 2 players. Trying to make the most. Not hiding the noise here. Shy still is walking. There's one. Nag set. 2 versus 3 now. Grouped up together, but brought down. With just the Guardian, Nozwa.
30 seconds left.
I'll be saying goodbye to the dreams of trying to win out this map. Instantaneous is the trade. Crew, just sublime. You get to the second half of Ascent, they were completely in control.
What a run this team has been on. They found a way to reply. But it looks like our pistol round is going to begin with an enormous clash towards Rubble. And the team that ends up winning these has such an advantage in the mental game, the map control game heading later.
An absolute brawl and skirmish that's going to be taking place. The Haunt is taken care of, but they still are not backing away from it. They want to fight behind the wall, close to the corners. Util to clear them out. Snake bite. No easy task to withstand all of that, but just a 1-for-1, and everybody backs away. Let's pretend it didn't happen.
They're wondering if King is going to take something aggressive on the other side of the map. He's normally pretty active when he's on his own like this. And now that crew realize he's not walking into B, they're trying to re-swarm on them.
No util being used, just straight up taking the fights, but leading the match, honestly. Shy. Sheriff in his hands. Short work. Chewing them up. 3 versus 2 now, and crew are the ones who are left really scrambling. And on a bit of a gamble, wondering where they might land.
The 2 Killjoy players are going to be players to watch here on Lotus. Davies has been so excellent since committing to the Sentinel instead of being a flex for the team. And Shy, with Sheriff in hand, can occasionally just pull magic out of nowhere. A ping on the door there. Surely they don't want to open this and go towards C. Just being cautious of it, perhaps?
Yeah, waiting. but still making no noise. Grouped up as 3, they can take the better trades.
30
Got
seconds
that
left.
space, and there's a deep flank on deep flanks. They hear it.
Is Shy's turret still active?
Spike
Should be
planted.
from this range.
Yeah, there it is.
It's going to spot him. And Naxet and Davies have gone round the world here. And they've given away at least one of their positionings. Now, for Leviatan, you can't be confident they're both here. So King and Katako still have to look the other ways. It's time to Shy.
Shy, though. Beautiful damage. Definitely chunking them down, and it gives his team the information. 1v2 for Davies. You can play this one time on your side if you are Leviatan. Davies half on the defuse, but already creeping closer to defeat. There's King. Right over the shoulder. Pistol round win for Lev.
Major for them. And also, in terms of that fight over towards Rubble, I mean, Mazzino was hiding inside the Viper wall to dodge guiding light that came through and then ended up TPing away. Both teams just desperate to fight tooth and nail for this area of the map. And often, whoever wins, whichever team gets the dominance in that kind of area and ends up winning these duels, which we're going to see one again.
Nade to the side, got to use the TP to evacuate and get out of there. Spike dropped to the floor.
So at the moment, it's kind of Leviatan having to give up that space, right? They're giving credit to KRU, a bit of respect to KRU, and allowing them to own that area. That can sometimes condition Lev into playing passively or focusing on Mound in the future rounds.
Destroyed.
It's going to be the impetus to hit the site, though, as soon as Davies pushed away. Being farmed, really trying to min-max this one, but it's going to be an attempt to try and refight. Smoke drops off as well, cuts away one of the long-term angles. Mazzino close to the corner, doesn't have the gun, but a jump Shy. That is beautiful with the transfer.
Spike planted.
And that's such an incredible player to be in position to help Mazzino, because now Shy's got up to his lockdown. They're going to have this to be able to come into a bonus round with. And for Lev, they couldn't ask for anything better. Shy going nutty on the pistol and then also farming orbs and getting a couple of kills there towards the end. Put a rifle in his hand, he's creating magic, and he's got an ultimate that you can definitely build a game plan around here.
It's a massive one, and look at that. Excellency.
That's what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
And I have been impressed with Leviatan, how they're able to bounce back from getting outclassed in some of these maps. You know, opening, they go down 13-5, Ascent, they lose 13-6, and yet they're still bringing it afterwards.
Satchels avoiding all of that util over the top, though. There's a TP, and they seem none the wiser. Melter is there, ready and waiting, still kills to be found, and there's a paranoia. Let loose, let rip. Is there the follow-up there? Yes, there is. Finally, help from his teammate.
Covered.
Skutsnet is happy to oblige. Shy is so out in the open. Now locked down to the Prior, no chance in hell he's going to be able to use it. Oh, he's watching from the spectator seat.
And when KRU are dominating Rubble, this is going to change the way that Lev have to approach things. I mean, they don't even get the chance to use the lockdown here. Their opportunity to build some kind of round that focuses around that ultimate that they got online so early, torn away from them. No chance. They're going to have to start respecting that KRU have good ideas on Rubble control.
They're seeking to re-clear this one. It's going to be hard for them. Snake bite. Does it land towards the back? Does Melter get tagged? But he does. Has to drop down. Back to the corner. There's one. Isolating the fights out. Davies. Okay. Cleans it up towards the end, but not without the difficulties and casualties. Only 2 players surviving for KRU.
This is really going to put a different feel to things. I can't believe nobody checks for Melter here. This is like one of the most common plays to go for as a defending Omen, is teleporting up top. And in the chaos of all of the other utility being thrown, having to dodge, you know, nade and potentially seizes or haunts, along with other utility that's been thrown in. Apologies. Having to dodge the nade combined with the flashes.
It's a difficult one. This time, yeah, Lev are going to be granting full respect over towards that Rubble control. They do not want to mess with Kesnet when he's earned that showstopper. Full control, but look how fast he is on the rotation. He's already through the spawn.
Mazzino has just walked in.
I believe it spotted him. Yeah, Naxet's aware. He knows the cross was there, yet still the fight gets one out. And the lockdown should push them all the way back. What a flick. Beautiful for the reactions once more. Davies does respond, bringing him down. Nice trade, but he's going to be detained. Needs some help. Players hot on his heels, seeking to try and bring him down, though. They give up the space. They realize it. Too risky to try and approach it. At least they are granted the plant. Seekers from Klaus. Usually commit this one. That's close to the corner. King is caught out near-sided, but he does have the back of the rest of his team. Snakebite's there. Shy doing a wonderful job of trying to stop them out towards Waterfall. They take the fights together, grouped up.
I like the call from Leviatan, making sure that they can use the lockdown in this spot and not over-committing to a fight towards A rubble. Like I said, I really feel like KRU have dominated that area of the map to the point where Lev have to start showing respect. It's hard to criticize Mazzino for going for the play where he just walks into C. I do think it was way too high risk, high reward, but he gets the reward side of it. Bren, you noted that Naxxet knew he was there, and yet he just delivers 2 kills. He already had a lockdown. I mean, they already know that they're getting the site. Yeah. And he just walks in completely alone, is like, don't worry, I'll take this round.
I'll go for it. There's never attempt to things. It's the half by KRU once more.
It feels like they're trying to funnel Leviatan into going for C hits. And if that's the case, KRU need an answer for how they're going to deal with the C hit. Sometimes that's going to be teams with an Odin. Sometimes that's going to be stacking all of your Killjoy and Viper utility over there. Or trap plays. But at the moment, I feel like KRU have successfully conditioned, despite looking like they're about to go 1-4 down, Lev to start the map towards the left instead of towards rubble. The question is, how do they actually turn that into round wins?
No way. Melzer, what is this? Put to the corner.
Cover going out.
Slight pocket to work with, but no. No one going to be walking towards him. Now, is that smoke cover?
Naxxet has a shorty, Brent.
Yeah, into the back.
Hiding behind the box.
And we saw him got 2 earlier. Can he do any more? It's contacting. No way. How do you get out of that spammable location? Davies, where do you prioritize your shots into the horn? It has to be done. Naxxet, though, will be dealt with. Wide face giving him that space as well. Showstopper around the back. First time I haven't seen a kill. Light up in the feed there from Kesnet. Pushing through into the smoke, but that is watched for. Shy. Some discipline there. He knows exactly what his role is. Winning even the fade ult with the Nightfall. No more noise cues. Spam enough, though, denying the plant. Isn't not really knowing where this is going on. Can't hear any of this. Just sees the shots going wide. Resetting it, making it dangerous and expensive. But it is 4-1 still. Lev running away with these rounds now.
They certainly are, but its rifle's going to be back online for KRU. And this is their opportunity to respond. They drew out the Nightfall in the prior round by virtue of Kesnet using his own showstopper. So, ultimate situation, fairly even. Bit of an advantage, I would say, to KRU potentially, the fact that they have the lockdown. Are we really going to see another fight happening over here towards rubble? Neither team wanting to give up on it at all.
Not willing to be disrespected, but might get difficult. Just a paranoia. Sidestepped and avoided. Waiting it out. Here's the horn. There's layers to it with the util. Sent flying. You can see it. Snakebite, Nano Swarm. Popped up. That is a nasty shot by Melzer.
Completely catches Taco in transition. A more diligent approach in terms of clearing this area from Lev.
Placing swarm grenade out.
So they've got a little more map control, but they've paid for it with a life. And that life is their entry player. Zeno far forwards, not worried about stairs at all. Slinks towards the breakable door. As the tree door is open too, these A players have got to stay towards that site. But people are contacting into B.
Yeah, and what are they trying to feign, though? The spike is in middle of nowhere. Mazzino has the ult, so picks that one up. Once they claim the B side, cancels it. Picked it all the way up, but again, once we're getting caught out, there's 2 players watching for him. This player advantage creeping further and further away.
And they haven't even gone for the plant.
No, not yet. They want to try and force a fight as well. They can't. They don't feel comfortable to try and get the plant down as util out in the hands of these players, but you'll be getting away with too much else, are you? Shy and King facing a match, trying to find those openings, facing it all together. Spike dropped out. Out of range of them. King retrieved this one, but there's really no time. I mean, 17 seconds left. They know exactly where he is with the flash. That indicator. Snakebite down. Libya, any form of chase. Now there is, yeah, pushing forwards and past. Still, the plan online. King close to the corner, has the pit, no time to unlock it, and there it is. Wide by Melzer, sacrificing his life, but for the greater good.
Some of these Leviatan rounds are mystifyingly overcooked. And that's an example. I feel like we saw another example of it on Ascent, where they tried to run that incredibly elaborate fake attempt. But this time, they have A control. They're in a 4v5, sure. But for whatever reason, they don't bring the spike. They have Noswell lurking through when they're committing to B. Just the players are not in the right place to actually execute the plan that they're looking for. It's a bit of a head scratcher, but Leviatan is still in the lead. KRU are committing bodies to controlling rubble again. And Lev this time not really wanting too much to deal with it.
No switch-ups. A nade being thrown into it. Diligence by Lev. They're going to making sure to clear out, take control of B main. Satchel out. Satchel. Does that take out the alarm bot?
I think it should.
Yeah, it does. Breaks it. But meanwhile, there's this deep push. Flash is dodged. King has to reset the aim. It does well to get the one, but traded.
That's a pretty big advantage, I would say, for the defenders, actually. Having that Viper all down is pretty massive. Puts a premium on Mazzino's smokes, of which he's already used one, and is about to get the other back in 25 seconds, so difficult for them. Melzer is now posted up towards A2 and can tell the rest of his team to go and stack towards C and towards B. The question being, do they want to play a retake? They have great ults for retake here, KRU. But sometimes you don't want to give them the space.
Lev are just happy to just contact in and try and take this fight together with them. Choosing to use their own lockdown.
You should run.
Really getting bogged down. Now it's being used. That's deep onto the side. Lockdown for a lockdown. Really clearing them out. Nade sails through all the way to the back. It's damage exchange. And kills are flooding on either way. Either direction. 2 versus 2 now. 25 seconds left. The plant has to start coming online. Attacker will commit to the stick. An extension into the round. Bit of a breather. Playing together. Both of these teams not willing to give up an inch. No more util left standing. Do they anticipate this? It's spotted. Takalia.
And it's not planted for them.
No reaction in time to try and watch that. And as soon as they realize this, yeah, of course you're going to try and stick it. Nagset, he knows he can just stick it. It's not spammable. Doesn't have the rifle for it. No high pen weapon. Melzer just watches for it. The re-push.
What a crumble on the fly from Leviatan. That's 2 rounds in a row now where the calls just haven't made sense, I don't think. The prior one, much more of a macro, but that one on the fly, the 2 players, they'd already naded and cleared out Waterfall. That was the area where a lot of the players were retaking from, and the lockdown was coming from there. They naded it, they cleared it out. That's this play that you're watching right now. And so they don't have to worry about that too much, and instead decide to push into that area to play the post plant from there when it's not planted for them. Players potentially getting stressed here with their backs up against the walls. We have in the past seen that bring out the best from Lev, but it looks like they're losing their grip on what was a great start to Lotus.
Once more giving up control. Everybody walking over towards the seaside. It's a nade there. Takalia, vulnerable up, has the showstopper. He's so damn low. Nanaswarm at his feet. Almost bringing him down there. The repositions of Davies. And Exit. How are they doing this, man? The Nanaswarm set down prior to actually earned the first kill. And now the door opens up. KRU eager to draw some more blood, eager to take another fight. There's nothing to cut this one up. They flip the side up entirely, taken towards the back section of it. And repositioning once more to Waterfall. Again, not planted for them there.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to just see exactly the same kind of situation occur. It's on Mazzino.
Yeah,
he's got to go huge.
He gets stunned up. Now here it is. Rocket online. Kesnit skips across the angle. Noswell, no world in which he's able to get that 1 kill found for him. But how do you win this one? You just can't. Again, planted close, cut to the corner. It's just a repeat. And 4-4, that's where we draw it.
Same situation occurring again. And one of the things that I didn't mention prior, which is important in those kind of spots, is that Lev are not getting good plant positions down. Right? They managed to get into the site. It's amazing work by Nagset. But then there isn't anybody else on the site, and they still don't feel comfortable planting in an open spot. Partly because that door between B and C is being opened. They don't want to plant for Mound because that's where they're coming from. That's where the retakers are flanking them from. Lev are being forced to play at KRU's pace right now, and it's setting KRU up for these really nice retakes where Lev have no good post-plant positioning.
Satchel out.
Double satchel. Leading it in. Judge in his hands, but fully blinded up. Boombots there! And there's certainly damage done, but Davies, what a response! My way! Just ridiculous! Following it perfectly. The lines coming through, the smokes, the traces. Pinpoint accuracy.
Davies, one of those players that's just been so much better at LCQ than he was in the regular season. He came into this team, a newer addition, without the experience of the other people on the team. And he was playing all sorts of different roles. He was playing everything. He was a fill guy, the glue guy during the season, but it meant his individual performance suffered as a result of it. Here at LCQ, he's mostly focused on being a Sentinel player, on the chamber, sometimes playing aggressively. On Killjoy, he's able to still take fights. And it's just refined his game so much.
Focusing down the roles, yeah. Does bring out the best in people, but you're really seeing that across the board of KRU.
30
like
seconds
Klaus,
left.
and Nagzed as well. Across the board. I mean, Mel's is calling. I mean, goes without saying about Kesnet. Just his fragging capabilities, his killing prowess. The whole team coming alive. And this is the final hurdle here. Potentially,
10 seconds
last
left.
map really did it have to face before earning that chance, that qualifier spot into champs. And wouldn't that be just absurd? Even to say it out loud, we've been witness to KRU multiple maps in a row, multiple games in a row of just them going on a tear, wondering, okay, well, makes for a nice storyline, but when does it stop? It just hasn't.
The train keeps going.
That is nasty. Nasty
And
good
this
stuff.
KRU train is just running down teams in front of it.
Oh, yeah.
They have taken so many teams out of this tournament where you felt like they had a chance of being able to win it. You know, a lot of people had Cloud9 as the favorites to be able to go on a ridiculous run. And then, you know, Leviatan, a lot of people thinking they might be able to get up to their former glory. And KRU are giving them a bit of a beating here on 2 out of the 4 maps that we've seen. This one still looking a little close, but KRU in control for the moment.
For the moment. It has been quite lopsided in terms of these rounds.
It looks like they're going to repush this. I mean, Davies baiting like he's the only player there holding passively. And instead, Kesnet and Klaus want to refight B main. And they're getting such great info right now.
Shadows traveling.
Like this decision. Aiming to break some of this utility. There it is. The repush catching them. And you talked about it just a bit prior, Josh. I mean, it's KRU that are playing at such a pace, they're forcing Lev to react.
Yeah.
Taking these moments into their own hands. That refight out in towards B main. They weren't ready for it.
No, and that's the kind of thing that when the sides are flipped, you'll see the KRU players deal with those moments really well.
Zeno looking up. This time, Nagzit knows. He's got a sight set onto it. Even the snakebite on top. Fully aware with the turret taking that contact. At least one more player just sitting outside that position, forcing a rotation from Davies. But at this point, 3 players left standing. Can King get onto the side and get the pit off? It looks so damn unlikely.
And one of the key parts to all of this is that KRU have been winning rubble control. And so Melzer is left alone to control
Careful
A,
here.
and they can commit 2 to C, 2 to B. If the attacking team cannot push those players away from being deep on A, you're
10
just left
seconds
with
left.
so little of the map to play with. It turns Lotus into a 2 spike site map.
Yeah. Completely isolates it. And KRU are hunting for the guns. They want them out of the hands of these Lev players. Crossfire setup. They're a little bit harder to chew through than maybe they anticipated. So staving off away some of that damage there. A little bit of excitement towards the end of it. Still, has to be the timeout for Lev because they have just been getting rolled. I mean, that's what, 5 rounds in a row. Last 2 being lost down to time by just running out of options.
Yeah, they've been getting annihilated. And at this point, think about things from the perspective of the Leviatan guys. You realize that the series is slipping away from you. You're desperately trying to come up with answers.
The alarm bot so it didn't get broken by the satchel.
Yeah.
And then replanted it again in the middle of the round.
Which halves the amount of time that it's going to be down for.
So it doesn't get destroyed. Got it earned back. But here we go. This time choosing to just disrespect, seeing if they can take the fight towards it. Satchel plays again across. Horn. It is there. Paranoia on top. Do they really seek to try and take the battle? Yes, they do. A Nightfall. This time, it's going to be used to supplement it. Attempt to try and take the fight and the push. This time, being won out by them. Yet, Davies once more there. This time, not able to get lucky by tracking down the traces through the wall. He's brought down and leaves it to Nagzit.
Finally, they break through and push into A and take this control.
Spike planted.
Now, with the orb and with the plant, Shy and Taco are getting their ults online. So this is now going to be helpful for the next. Unless Nagzik poses A bit of a problem, but surely not. Yeah, Shy's got him in the back.
Good by Shy.
And Lev now have a real chance at tying this up at 6-6, coming out of owner's
Last
timeout.
round in the half.
I said they had to fix something. They either need to be able to go into control rubble or have C post plants work for them. And this time, they make sure that Melzer has not gone for an aggressive teleport and hold, anti-flash, use the Nightfall, push all of those players away.
The Nightfall is a great difference maker, isn't it?
And in the next round, they have Lockdown, they have Showstopper, Pit for post plant. Many different tools here for Leviatan to pull round 12 out and send us into the next half even.
Well, there we go. Takalea off the rip, off the jump, and the rocket, it lands true. Claims the target, nade rebounded, nobody can choose to fight him. He stands his ground down. Plant is fast, off the rip. They're gonna try and flood right back into this. No denial of it. Util being used and a snake bite's there. Still, it is chaotic. And it's scrappy all over the place still. With the pit laid down, it's a massive advantage now for Lev. There's really no breathing room in this. The shorty shot's going wild. King, no kills claimed.
You should run.
Has to back away and leave this one, and finally a bit of a breather, enough for this lockdown to be just planted. Lord knows where, maybe out into the open. King falls.
What a kill.
That is a massive one. No more pit now to push it back, but time is running short. You can see it. I mean, you're hearing it. It's ticking away with how fast this spike was planted. Time is just out of their hands. Gets it. Lucky with it, but still doubled up, double face. There has to be somebody sticking it. They know it. They force them out in the open. Sightlines are Lev, happy to clean it up, so 6-6 evened up on
Switching
that.
sides.
Timeout, comeback, owner finding value.
Is everyone's take?
Camps qualification, that spot that's going to be happening, you know, the tournament, really the culmination of the entire year.
And KRU looking to join Zeta, Giants, Na'Vi, the teams that have already made it out from LCQ.
Toxins going up.
Lev trying to control Rubble in a similar way we saw from KRU in the first half. They have Mazzino posted up there fairly deep, and now they're going to start rotating other people away.
Yeah, almost a rinse repeat, isn't it, of what we were just seeing prior. Door opened wide. Fakes like they could be rotating into B main. Spotting it out.
I feel like I missed something early on in this round, but Klaus, you know, he doesn't have a Trailblazer. He doesn't have flashes to be able to use. Must have used the Trailblazer really early on, I feel. Was he just bought heal and pistol?
Or just opted for a ghost, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he must have done. That's unusual for the attack side. I mean, Trailblazer is just such a massive tool, but they've got a specific round in mind, maybe.
But a flash is back online. Regen contacting again through. There's no util to meet them on the other side, but a wall makes them second guess themselves. Down to 40 seconds in this one. There will be nobody to meet them, except now it's being shored up. You can see it's King approaching that position. Close to the corner, jump spot, smokes up. Bit of damage being peppered into him with the paranoia, ripping its way through, giving up the space now to them. Melzer trying to get this plant off. There's a nade. Taco still holding on to it now, and there's a call in the moment. This is KRU. That adaptability, flexibility. That's a triple fight as well, all the way up into heaven. Close to the corner though. Prowler, nade at his feet. Counterplay with the util, Horns over the top. They've regained still that control of this. It needs to be an attempt by Lev to try and clear through. And they're winning their fight. Shy. He's been the difference maker in this map, and even in this round. Maybe he can win it out for them. Davies though on the flank. The distraction is just perfect. Where's the last player left standing? Cutting around the corner. Nana Swarm. No chance of sticking it. King is forced into such a difficult decision. Has to try and stick this one now. Half. Will he be able to get it? It's a wider face, and Davies knows how to play it.
What a ridiculous round from Davies. He spent that entire round waiting outside C for Shy's turret to deactivate. Shy had a turret holding him back from the lurk the entire time. And as soon as Shy took a step a little further out, Davies was running. I mean, he was doing his best Usain Bolt impression to try and just get back to fight this one. Puts an Anaswarm down, was worried that someone would be on it. Ridiculous. Look at the wall slam there. I mean, that is a round that Owner is devastated that they lose.
Because it could be everything. You know how important these pistol rounds are.
That could be the whole season.
That's it. And end much earlier than any team really wants, any player really wants.
And a massive stack here from Leviatan over towards C. Remember how important that was on Pearl to get Lev's comeback started on that map. KRU won the pistol, Lev stacked a sight, and KRU walked into it. This time, Melzer's got the read, and they are pathing in the complete opposite direction. No danger whatsoever here over towards A.
Yeah.
KRU are going to get the freest sight of their life. And I mean, in theory here, Kesnick could take the plant as well and start building up towards the showstopper that they can use. So I don't know whether they'll exactly fill. Yep, there they go for it. So Spike goes over to Kesnick, building up another one of these ult orbs. And now, you know, once you realize that the round should be favored for you, Kesnick can actually go and try and hunt some of these kills too. It's what I'm sure he would like to do, and it builds you up towards the ultimate. He only needs 1 and a death, or 2 and survive.
You know, KRU, they do love to get aggressive, try and hunt for some of these kills, build up the ults. Same could be said for Lev, but now they're grouping up just onto the edge of the spike. Look at Kesnick, he's keen for it.
Yeah, I
He
think
handed the rifle over to Davies as well, so he wouldn't give it up.
That's so smart. I love that. Just min-maxing the smallest things.
Yeah, doesn't want to give away the weapon, but still wants to try and claim the kills, only his life. Still, gets him 1 step closer to the ultimate.
Yeah, only needs an ult orb. And on this map, the attackers have really their choice. Pick of the litter.
Oh yeah.
So for Leviatan, I feel like you've got to read into that. You've got to realize that Kesnick's going to be playing for an ult orb somewhere. And picking which one he's likely to go for will really dictate how Lev play the round. Do they want to run a trap play with a paranoia and a haunt perhaps to try and stop him from taking the C orb? Do they want to push really aggressive with a nade and a C's to stop him from taking the A orb? Or run some other kind of aggressive play over
Right
towards
on the
B?
money, honestly.
I mean,
Group up outside C.
Yeah, they've got multiple options, but it's about picking the right side of the map, and it looks like they've done so.
Maybe group up. Already disrespecting, moving across there. There was an anti-flash position played by Taco.
And KRU have immediately called to cancel.
Oh yeah.
They realize that this is a common trap play that they're going to see, and they want no part of it. Instead, working towards B, looking to try and pick Kesnick up the orb over there.
Same time as this as well. Nags is just disrespecting any hold towards A. Hearing all that util being used, he's happy to just take all that space. I mean, he has looked so deep.
Yeah, and this is massive for them. KRU can either commit to the A push with the showstopper or go back and try and push Mazzino away before they go back to A. And they've decided for the more rapid approach.
Yeah.
With a minute still on the clock, there is no one really hard defending the A site.
Going to get slowed down. My pool's going to be ending at some point, but they do have the Nanoswarm still set up. There it is. That's through. Nobody spotted. Door into tree, giving that space up, and a fast flank occurring from Lev as well. 3 players grouped up.
It looks like they're not even going to use the showstopper. They realize there's no one home.
Need to be careful, though, from behind. These players are going to be trying to fight them back now. Where's the noise? Yeah, it's being made! Showstopper! There's another satchel in play as well to just evacuate and get out of there, but util's being used, and they still need to try and fight over this space. Kesnick is close to the corner. Battle on 2 fronts, out towards the side. The shots are missing. Not quite hitting them, even with the reset of the movement. It is chaos, and a reposition of Melzer is necessary. Backing away.
As is Davies. They've played this situation really nicely, not fighting too heavily, just repositioning.
Mistake a lot of teams do tend to make as well, and by doing that, they give no options, no openings, and Lev forced again. Tail tucked in between their legs, they back away with what guns they've got, but this is an advantage that is getting away from them on a map where they need to win.
And sure, the time is low, but that's a 3v4. A
Yeah.
3v4 that they decide to save instead of going for it and being confident that they can turn a situation like that around. And they've given KRU the lead. Their economy is not going to be in a great spot. Only 3 rifles that they can really work with. And Owner's called a timeout again.
Oh, yeah.
You saw his emotional reaction to them losing the pistol round as it all slipped away and Davies made the play on the lurk and the flank. KRU are in the lead. And not, all the way last year, but still, Lev haven't changed too much in that time period.
Isolate them and kill them.
It's Melzer who's got a fantastic read of the game. His calling has been setting him apart. Battle of the Minds versus like King, but this time KRU with all the guns. Disrespect being showcased as well. They take all of that control onto C now. Nags. Oh, he's at a slight angle, isn't he? Right here, Prowler's broken. Such a wide face still. It's the 1-for-1. Does cause some worries. Everybody watching towards that A main position, knowing that they've lost control of it.
One of the other major differences is that Leviatan are committing 2 players to defending C in situations where KRU just left it to 1. It can weaken the other side of the map, but for now it seems like the correct play.
There.
1-for-1 trade. I mean, the defenders are spread thin across the map here. Nade into the back. Shy, he's got to force himself out wide yet. Tucked close, 77. Help still! No way does he get to! Vulnerable Tuck, it's impeccable! Just perfection. Weaving in and out and playing off of one another. Leaves it down to just Melzer. A lot of bullets. Paranoia does miss, but well, they're meeting the firing line. And my God, did Leviatan need that?
The biggest play, just when his team needed it the most. And it's all about evading the nade. That's a nade that's supposed to clear out the entirety of the backside and give the attacking team perfect confidence that they can get into this spot. And Shy evades it, tucks around the corner, and swings out exactly as the snake bites come through, and attention is pulled away.
Yeah.
Look what it means to him.
It's brought him back in. It's 9-7, yeah, still the round deficit is there, but I mean, that was a round that they really had no right winning. The weaponry was not good.
And now you give yourself a little bit of a comfort, a safety net in terms of the economy. You know, there's still a couple of people really low, Taco, Shy, but there's a bit here to work with.
It's all to do.
Melzer is very aggressive in this spot compared to how you'd usually see him play, but not rewarded for that.
Free firing on the corners.
So KRU have taken control of the whole of front B and C. But there's a very similar situation occurring when Mazzino is up towards rubble. Do KRU have some kind of plan to deal with this Omen? Push him away. There are lineups you can use here for the snake bites, nano swarms, trailblazer. But Mazzino can always try to answer with a paranoia and a one-way. The Omen has many tools for this spot. Part of why it's so meta on this map.
Agza's got a lineup. I think there's a snakebite that's going to be landing on top of the pillar. Mazzino's already backed away. Not sure where the snakebite ended up landing. Teleport in order. Got to get out of there. Does soar the bullets. And meanwhile, Davies is catching a look in with Melzer himself on top of it, on top of the box. Tackles there, realizes the squeeze is on. And the showstopper is a damage done. Certainly, the casualties flying back and forth. Kesn is still active and alive in the fight, but a spike is dropped out wide onto the open side here with 15 seconds left. They realize it's not winnable, got to give it up. And backing away, so
10 seconds left.
Leviatan once more earning themselves a breathing room, an extra lifeline, maybe a chance to drag it back even.
KRU with a clear plan of how they wanted to retake rubble control, and the plan worked. They were able to shove Mazzino away, but in the same time, they tried to overcomplicate things perhaps just a little. And they ran, I believe it was Davies and Melzer. Here they are, trying to run with the spike into B, assuming that the rest of Leviatan would be trying to help Mazzino maintain control over A. So they're thinking in their heads, all right, the defenders are trying to fight over rubble, we'll react into B, we'll be able to get a plant down. But in that kind of spot, King comes up huge.
Another fight to be taken. This is a skirmish. Any sort of util. Horn over the top. Orb to cut up that sight line. Control given up. Just of rubble. KRU happy to take it now and wait it out. Lev realizing that they too favored. Instead just backing up away from all of this. It's a one-way setup. Perfect timing. As the door starts to rotate now. Where's the pivot? Kesnit hunting for a head, hunting for a kill, not given that sight line for any amount of time. Down to a minute on the clock here for KRU.
And Taco knocked down to, almost about half health. Davies has just been controlling that angle over towards C, and the rest of the team now coming back to return to him. If Nags picks up the orb at front B, he's going to have his pit online. But doesn't want to commit to that.
Here.
40 seconds in a round. Satchel's being used to
There is
pave
not
the
much
way,
time
clear it
here,
out.
Brent.
Yeah, it's getting precarious because, again, still have that util in the back pocket. Not really been doing enough to try and drag it all the way
30
out.
seconds
Yeah,
left.
Leviatan are committing King and Shy to these kind of spots. The two top fraggers for the team are locking down C.
Almost snake bites though, and down to that 20-second mark. Here it is. Do or die. Satchel combined with the flash. Cuts across the angle again. Nade towards the back. They have to take this fight now. And Shy, again, could be the difference maker. Him and King have just been fantastic in these spots. But again, it's Nozwa trying to shore it up. 10 seconds remaining. The plant will go down. Anything tonight is Taco. He has the nade, but already being stuck. Klaus avoiding, dodging, juking the bullets.
These players are low. Kesnick getting healed back up by Klaus may end up being super important. But Taco has to go for a play. Mazzino is so far away, he can't afford to wait for the Omen. Taco's got to make something happen now. And the Trailblazer has
Timing.
it.
Yep. Shot's
Still looking
fired,
for
though.
it.
Yeah. Wasn't broken in the end. Taco's there. Flash over the top, not connecting too hard. No play's really falling for it. Mazzino, he's low enough, and there's damage being done certainly, but time now ticking. The Spike putting that pressure. Crew, they find the 10th round.
This team is playing with the clock down to the wire.
Oh, yeah.
We saw many rounds like that come down on split, and almost none of them punished. And this is another version of that. There's 15 seconds left as they try to get into the site. And the whole of Leviatan flooding in to try to deny. And yet Crew end up finding the angles and the trades that they need to get a plant down and win that round in a 3v2. That one may have been the trickiest for the attacking squad, because now as Kesnit's just been farming orbs all around the map, he's about to have another showstopper online.
We know the impact of that.
Can Leviatan stop them from getting in position to execute? I mean, Shy can't use his lockdown here.
He's in a position to spam the wall. Here's the orb being picked up. It's the Nanoswarm anyway, just defending his position. Still tucked close into tree. Trailblazer around the back. Now the showstopper orb, but he misses the movement. And King punishes right from the back. Still inside, stunned up. Davies taking a fight to his adversary. With Shy falling now, it should be the side cracked wide open. The pit. Free reign of it, launched down, shots just missing. Naxx's still alive, so the pit active once more, but it's everyone just really seeking to just lay claim to one section of the map already. They cut it up. Tree control is there, but the pit still remains active and still alive. Where's the util? Postplant's playing away from this one. It's always tricky. Naxx falls. That is the crux of it. It's left up to Klaus, and I think he's already made noise. They already know where he is, waiting for it, dodging with the flash. Someone needs to tap this, and look at that from Mazzino. Gliding across the ground, sets it up for his own team, if not himself.
How have Leviatan won that retake? Into the pit, spamming, being able to find incredibly important kills.
Planted.
They're coordinated. The Seas drops Melzer down to a fraction of his health. And Taco just sprays into the smoke to kill Davies. The coordination with how they put their aggression together is great. But also, Crew have got to be kicking themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, you're feeling it. Passion.
Both of these coaches have made it to champions off that. Oh, also on the other side of things, Noswa has always made it to champs via LCQ. Always. Every year. He doesn't want to see a streak like that end today.
It's more the economy taking a tumble here for Crew. Lev really should be set up for this one. Is this a pop flash play? They want to disrespect it. Taco from the high ground position. Melzer seeking to punish and capitalize, and he gets out with his life.
No Klaus alive, though, to be able to heal him up. And a 3v3 with guns dropped in places where the Crew players have no chance of being able to recover them.
Yeah. Not really a chance of it.
So still favored towards Leviatan, and Taco's done enough here.
I can't believe Mazzino here. I mean, this deep push out of A main, and you're up against the half buy.
Yeah, and also the angle that he's fighting on is kind of favored for Stingers.
It's risky, isn't it? Davies is there, though. Only the ghost in his hand to really try and challenge that.
Mazzino is a very confident player, but we've seen him get punished a few times in this series, and he's looking like he's about to be punished.
Melzer, he capitalizes!
Those are the mistakes that are gonna cut you off at the knees.
And what a brutal one. Yeah, you've granted all that space, yeah, but you've handed over the rifle. And now, sightline set, grouped up once more. King has to try and do it. The spray down does not receive two. He's brought down with the trade. Plant. More time being bought into the round, but it leaves it once more to Shy. He has been a difference maker. The numbers he's putting up, nothing short of that spectacular moment, but he just opens himself up. He's not favored for it. And that's a backbreaker, Josh.
That's an enormous error from Leviatan, and Ona has no more timeouts. He was just gifted an opportunity to talk to the team by the fact that Crew wanted to take one. Taco gets a 2K there, and it's a great play by Melzer. That one, excellent. Trying to find the timing just as Taco used the nade. But you pointed it out immediately as soon as it happened. It's a massive overstep by Mazzino. When do you ever see an Omen playing in that kind of position either? The jump spot just doesn't... It doesn't clear enough. You just expose yourself. These are the small mistakes that happen when there's everything on the line. And King's popped his Viper's Pit at the very start of this round based off a bit of noise happening over towards Rubble.
Very early.
This is a really heavy A setup right now. Look at the alarm bot here too. You know, even if King has people walk inside of his ultimate, they're not going to be able to get through uncontested. So King can play very safe inside of this and still help over towards B. Oh. It's C, where Mazzino is, that's weak. And Mazzino cannot afford to fall here again.
No, he's a lone player to hold back all of it. The onslaught that might just be coming in his direction. Cross mound. Crew are hungry. Drawing him away. It's spam. Bullets raining through the angles. No damage done.
Nobody stayed over towards A. So it's going to be a little more difficult to return in that direction. Davies can pop his lockdown, though, and they'll have access to the B site. It is going to be tough to deal with King inside the pit, though.
All picked up. Klaus.
Big ultimates to work with.
Got it online. They're going to aim to try and fake this. They just handed the spike over to Melzer. He has his ult. 25 seconds left. It's the goal to draw rotations. Damage being done. It's the rifles. Being them down into the angles, a lockdown on top of it. They want to try and put it maybe into C. There's no time, 15 seconds. Got to get a move on, but it's being watched for. The lockdown will push them back. You have to respect this one, King. Not getting detained, giving it away. 7 seconds remaining, has to be the plan, and he will commit to it. Now the ult. Committed to get themselves onto the site. They've granted it, but they don't have any of the extremities. Shy. Pushed up, locked down into the smoke. Timing is everything, and he's got the knife out. Not enough, though. King defends it. The lockdown's still alive. And it just... I mean, it's going to be pushing them all the way, and all the way back. King. Such a play to make in a moment. Might have just done it. Down and out, Kesnet. Aims to take the one, but King, my God, man. How much can one leader do?
He's been there as a rock every time Leviatan need him. Pulling his team through with his individual play. Sure, there's been sloppiness in terms of the decision-making and some of the calls at times. But when he's asked to deliver, he's been there to step up. And he trades perfectly here. And this defense of the lockdown, that's really what wins him the round, I think, too. So many ults used in that. Crew are now poor. Only Kesnick close to his showstopper with a hero rifle on himself and Melzer. Is this opportunity to go to champions going to slip away from Crew? They're 2 rounds away, but this one looks difficult. Surely we're set up for an 11-11 game.
You got to think. Mazzino.
Shadows traveling.
Smoke committed there to the front section of B.
Mazzino wants to get
down.
Yeah. I mean, my eyes are now drawn to Kesnet.
Oh. What is that off?
Who knows? Feeling.
Yeah, damage done though, but a heal. Used to bring him back up. Still, not enough to deal with that alarm bot. Now they're going to be walking right into Mazzino. Breaking the Trailblazer is good. Moves a key piece of util. Not going to have that one to clear through. Paranoia on top. Kesnet wants to try and face wider. Here's a showstopper. At work, in play, Mazzino. Out wide in the open.
Caught again on the anti-eco. They can't afford to be playing 4v5s in these kind of spots.
Mistakes like that will cost you. Taco. Stalwart. The defender. Nightfall. This is to try and supplement and help him out again. That supportive ult. Scatters his way across, but it's sidestepped by Crew. They want to set the sights again over towards B. There is util here. Melzer pressing forwards. Alarmbot spots it. Ow, but Shy just didn't know where to aim. They are falling and they are crumbling. This is a round the Crew really shouldn't have won, but now the spike planted. The positioning is good of the players. They have a massive advantage here. And Taco and King, if you fall into your old ways and save, it looks like the decision is made for them. No money in the bank.
And Leviatan in a 2v5 forced to make a terrible decision here. To the jeers of the crowd as Crew get up to match point, to tournament point. 1 round away from champions.
My ult's ready.
And they've managed to do it here on this map by winning 2 thrifties, both of which feature Mazzino being the first, or not first, but a large error. that KRU were able to capitalize on. Caught out playing too aggressively over towards A. Not respecting the showstopper enough in this round. Trying to fake the teleport away, hoping Kesnet would fire it off into the distance.
Match point.
They're nothing.
Lev need 2 in a row. Here's the play that made all the difference. Kesnet's showstopper and those 2 hero rifles, one on Nagset,
Precise.
singing sweetly.
And now, there are no more second chances. There's no breathing room, no buffer at all. Like you said, Josh, it's that 12th round for KRU. It's map point, match point, tournament point.
And look at where they're going. I mean, KRU are set up to go for some kind of A hit here.
Oh,
on
they're
a
pushing out a
4-1.
B.
There's nowhere home for
Complete
Leviatan.
push all the way out. Taco. It's a showstopper offloaded. Shy. He does collect. It's corralled. Davies had nowhere to run for that one, but he's going to be calling that one out. Surely all that pressure was going their way, and KRU not wasting time with this one. Spike starting to get planted, but already space being granted to them as well.
And a 4v5 post plan. Who does this favor?
Yeah, Lev have surrounded them. They didn't actually give up too much map control here. Pings abound. All comes down to these individual duels. Is Class really going to make a go of this one here with the rifle? Anything to clear into the corner. A nade. Prowler, it expires. At least broken in the middle of it. Satchel now on top. Time running short. This is it. This is for everything. Klaus, he finds one. Tree fight taken. Melzer, not enough damage to really bring them down, but everybody falling is left up to King. But he